the Daily Ramble podcast.
Hello Hammers fans, David Moyes here and you're watching Claret and Booze. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
I put the wrong fucking one on. Bloody hell.
What'd you do that for? That's not a Daily Ramble.
No, I know. Anyway, welcome everyone to the TalkHammers show. You're joined this week by me, Gary and Micky. Is Ryan joining us?
I don't know. Did he say he was?
He did say he was. I'll get him to... Let me drop him a message.
Oh, yeah, he did the other day, didn't he?
Yeah.
Fireworks.
Oh, look, Gary's got fireworks. Look, drop me a note.
Look, I've got balloons.
If you want to come on.
That's well good, isn't it?
Right. Anyway, yes. So we're going to review the Wolves, the wonderful Wolves game. We're going to go through that. Obviously, I've spoken about that and given you my thoughts on that. We're going to rate the players, and then we're going to look ahead to Thursday night, massive game against Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen, who are unbeaten this season. And then we'll take your calls. But before we get there, I'll start with you, Micky.
Oh,
Micky, hello, Micky. What were your thoughts with the change yesterday when you saw Alvarez come in and Antonio out, meaning that JWP and Souček were back in the middle again?
Well, I love the JWP and Souček pairing in midfield, so I was really, really pleased.
Yeah.
So,
Top draw, wasn't it?
It was lovely to see.
You could see. I'll tell you what. You could see how frustrated Paqueta was in that first half out wide, couldn't you? He looked so fed up.
I just think the first half was just shocking. Like, let me tell you something. Yeah. So obviously everyone knows I'm a postie, so I get up early. So when I usually finish, I do have a nap. But I watched West Ham, and I fell asleep for 20 minutes in the first half watching West Ham, and that's the second time that's happened. And I think we've only had 2 kickoffs at 3 o'clock on a Saturday all fucking season, and both times I fell asleep.
It was shocking. It was so bad. It was.
It was.
It was terrible. How about you, Gary? What were your thoughts on the changes?
Oh my God! Well, you know my thoughts. He shouldn't be playing those 2 in the middle. It's a failed experiment, but it don't stop him keep trying it, does it? I mean, whenever he gets the chance, he slips them back in there, doesn't he? And it was. I agree with Micky. Actually, I was getting tired watching that first half. It was wearing me out.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even say I was angry. Like I was apathetic watching it. You're just like, oh, yeah, exactly, yeah. John went down there with Freddie and his mate. It was
oh, did he?
Yeah. It was so bad. That's got to be one of the worst halves of football that I think I've watched. One of this season. There probably is a worse one. Fulham was probably worse.
It took deep lying block or low block to another level, didn't it?
It was completely static. Nobody was moving.
We're going to do nothing in this half. We're just going to give them the ball. Yeah, it was terrible. It was a real painful watch, right? Really painful. Taking Antonio out was foolish. But I think he's in this situation now where he's thinking, I play a negative game, I lose, so I have to play the next game positive, and then I'll win and I'll get some credit back. Now he's doing it in the middle of a game, so he played half a game shit, and he think, I better use the attacking players to get me out of this now. Yeah. Otherwise, if it works, he can take credit for being negative. If it works the other way, he can take credit for being positive in the second half and rescuing it. Hero.
It was such an awkward game to do a review. I actually did a post-match review on that one, and you fucked off down the pub. Micky Micky went silent, and I was left on my own. So I done the review, and do you know what? I knew I was going to get criticised for it. Because you always get those people, we've won, what's wrong with you? Be happy. It's a match review. You've got to review the match.
That's what they don't understand. They don't get it.
If all you were doing was you just popped on to say, we won 3 points.
We were brilliant. We were brilliant. West Ham, we won.
It was shit.
It was so good.
It was utter shit. And the second half was far better. But it weren't perfect.
Yeah.
But at least it was entertaining, wasn't it? At least we was like sort of.
We was properly on the front foot in the second half.
You know what? I thought it was pretty good, but I was so tired after the first half. I'd lost all enthusiasm for the second half, right? And it was better. But that's why I went out for a couple of beers afterwards with Lisa, because I just thought I've got to get out of this house. I just sat here watching this shit, and it was. I just thought I can't tell you how bad that first half was to me.
Have we got any news on the Bowen injury yet?
Well, apparently later on in the game, he appeared on the bench.
But that means nothing.
No, but didn't appear to be in any discomfort, right? So apparently Moyes expected to play on Thursday. I expected to play on Thursday as well, to be honest. I did. Let's talk about Leverkusen later because I've spent my afternoon today with a hangover, going through and learning quite a lot about them. Right? So,
so who were the subs? We had Johnson, Antonio, and Cresswell, wasn't
it? Yes.
All right, let's bring them in. I'm just getting the player rating.
And to be fair, I think he got the subs bang on.
He did. Yeah.
I wouldn't like to see Cresswell playing against Leverkusen. That would be a real recipe for disaster. But for yesterday, because Wolves in the second half, O'Neill got Moyes, didn't he? He sat back. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. They had two banks pretty much planted on the edge of their penalty area. You know, we saw this against Forest early in the year with who's that geezer that Amanda describes as sleepy eyes or half asleep.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. He was at that game yesterday.
He was a fucking idiot, right? I mean, they were beating us 2-1 at our place, and he said, "Oh, right, we've won this game. I'll sit deep," and we beat them 3-2, didn't we? It's just like,
Do you know what? Yes. I've got a feeling we could see Cresswell and Emerson play against Leverkusen. I reckon he'd try and double up like that one time that it worked against Grealish.
It ain't gonna help. It ain't gonna help. I'll tell you why, because it ain't one player down each side. You've got is two.
Yeah, I know.
But the thing is, I know we've done that. I know. Look, I know a fair bit about Leverkusen now. I've watched them play plenty of times this season now. The fact of the matter is, it was partially Wolves. They did try to sit back and protect their lead, but it was also the fact that we played more aggressively and we played on the front foot and we did kind of push them back. That's how you play teams. That's what you do. That's going out there trying to win a game of fucking football. I don't know. Can you at all work out, Mick, what the fuck he was trying to achieve in that first half?
I can't understand what he tries to achieve when in any really first half of any game that he plays. I think that it's a case of when we see the second half reaction like we did, it's all because of that first half setup of his.
Yeah.
As we've said many a times, and you've said it, that it's like he wants it and needs it to work just to go, told you, doesn't matter about the like fucking other 200 games or something. It's not worked. It's that one game that needs it. I can't work it out.
I mean, look, if there was any truth in the fact that we've got a small squad and playing that way preserves your players' legs, then I could have it. But you can't, because anyone who's played football knows it's more exhausting playing without the ball than it is with it. It absolutely is. It's more exhausting. You know,
running around.
They don't counterattack the team we're playing on Thursday, right? Is all they do is they play way up the pitch, right? Up the pitch. They have on average 63% possession. That's what they've had, and a lot of that is played in the final third. Most of it in the middle third. Only 20% in the back third, right? They are constantly pushing forward. They're so aggressive. So I'm thinking that maybe that 3 that he ended up with yesterday might be a wise way to go. As in, you don't play Cresswell as a left back, but you can play him as one of the centre halves with a bit of pace, because it will give Leverkusen something to think about if we've got a few wing backs and we've got a way to get forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're going to be sat back in our own fucking half.
Well, that's what I think. I think there's the experiment in the second half against Spurs for the last half hour, and the experiment yesterday. I think that was just an extension of his zone and marking.
Luke,
shit
I've got to apologise to Luke. Luke, I was meant to be doing a show. With Luke midweek. I'll explain to you why. We've had a busy fucking week, mate. Couldn't get on. I'll tell you what. If you're available, though, and you want to jump on, let me know, and I'll WhatsApp you a link. You can jump on tonight, mate. With us.
Come on, Luke. Come on, Luke.
Yeah, it's all been a bit hectic, isn't it? The last week or so.
Oh, it's been mad. Let's be honest. But it's been worth it, right? It's been worth it.
Yeah.
You know, but what you need, and everybody, you know, in that group and all West Ham fans, is what they need with a West Ham game is something to enjoy and a bit of entertainment, right? I just found that I found it. I started quite happy yesterday. I found it brought me down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, we should have been. All I felt was relief.
Yeah,
that's all I felt was relief, and that, and I did feel a semblance. I must admit, because Wolves have been fucked like we have. Wolves have been properly shafted this year with VAR. I do think that one was possibly the worst. I know that by the book, people can say You know, he was standing in an offside position, but he was only short. The flight of the ball was about 8 foot in the air.
Yeah, at least.
You know, he was not blocking Fabianski's side. Fabianski was never getting anywhere near it. And if that happened to us, I would have been thoroughly fucking heartbroken.
I think it was 8 foot at its lowest, because you've got to bear in mind it was Kilman, the guy who gave the penalty away, who leapt, and he's about 6.5 foot already, right? So that was at its lowest, right? It arced higher than that. There's no way he couldn't see the ball, and he had no chance of saving it. Let's be honest, right?
No,
no chance at all. So we got away with one there, and I could, you know, the people on Twitter were winding me up a little bit last night by saying, "Oh yeah, it evens itself out." Yeah, well, and it kind of does, right?
It does even itself out.
It won't even itself out, because we've had so many against us. It's unbelievable. But we always moan about VAR, so it'd be a bit disingenuous of us to say that was perfectly fine. No reason to rule it out, right? It was.
Well, do you know what I'm sick of though? When you look at it, is you come on here, you struggle to have a game where it isn't VAR that's determining the outcome of a fucking result. You know, VAR is awarding teams points. That's what it's doing.
It's winning and losing games. It really is. Yeah, and that's not what it was invented for, is it? I mean,
no.
It's terrible. It's terrible. How can it fucking do that? I mean, Liverpool seem to get a penalty every game.
I do also think that we had a bit of a soft one. I think Emerson's goal probably should have stood, if I'm honest.
I think so as well. That was. I mean, he did make contact with the guy's ankle, but unless you can see a close up, you don't know how bad it was. The guy felt the impact and he just went down holding his ankle. So unfortunately, that is the age we're living in, where play acting is actually getting worse.
But would you say that was a clear and obvious mistake, like an error?
No. I mean, look, the difference with that one is if he treads on his foot and he goes straight down, he's got a free header, which is what he had. So you can understand it. There was contact, but it's still soft as shit, in my opinion.
This comment here, soft. By the way, from Craven, this is why I want to talk about Leverkusen, because I feel a bit uneasy, same as Craven. I feel a bit uneasy being quite confident going into that game, right? So what I did today was bring myself down to earth a bit, because I think if we expect to win, we won't win. If we go there not expecting to win, there's a chance we might get a decent result out of it. You know what I mean? You can't. We never expected to beat Seville, did we? Right? We never did.
Gary, David Moyes is going to go to Leverkusen and win with 12% possession, and he's going to be the first manager to beat Xabi Alonso this season. Yeah, great Xabi Alonso.
But if you speak like that, if you speak like that, and you get yourself in a frame of mind where you think the German league shit, they're only beating pub sides and everything else, right?
No. It's not. You know, listen. The league itself isn't strong, but there are the best teams in these leagues are fucking good. They're strong.
They're strong.
So it's It's thank you.
I'm very much not in that fucking camp. I can't see. I'm sorry. Look, listen, I love the positivity that people are saying about we can win and that. I just can't see it. I think we're going to get fucking slapped.
Thank you.
To be fair to you.
Yeah. Go ahead, Micky. Are you doing the comments, or shall I?
Right.
No, you wanted that one up, didn't you?
Yeah, I only wanted that.
So anyway, look on the balance of play. On the balance of play, that was a great 3 points, because in the first half, they could and probably should have been out of sight, you know. And we were so lucky because they were missing all three of their best players. Their forward line was gone.
And the best player on the pitch on the day went off, injured. Yeah, he was brilliant. That player, I'd like him.
Do you know he's a left back?
He was brilliant. He's so good. He reminded me of like a Kudos. What he was doing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed it.
That eight Nori, is it eight Nori? Is that his name?
Oh, the one who's been scoring. He's been scoring.
He's a left back.
He's fucking mustard.
No.
My son calls him a pound shop seller. You don't like him.
I'll take him for a pound. I'll be all right with that.
I'll tell you what. Let's get into the player ratings and get this out of the way, and we'll talk about it, and then we'll move on to Leverkusen.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
you know what? That is the thing. Like when people say that the Bundesliga is shit. I remember a couple of seasons ago, people were saying the Bundesliga is the closest league to the Premier League. Like
it was.
It was.
Look. It actually is. But the fact of the matter is, there's so much money in the Premier League that you can't really. Every team in the Premier League is strong.
And you got to say, right, we played Freiburg the other week and battered them. And I wasn't impressed with them any time we played, right? Because they were clearly intimidated by us. It was a young team. They were intimidated. They got battered. But when you put them into the Bundesliga, they're a different outfit altogether, right? And it ain't to do with necessarily with the quality of the opposition, right? It's to do with the fact that they're confident playing in their own backyard. It's that's the way I see it anyway. They're not as bad as they looked against us. The other ones, Dortmund are a great side, and Arsenal are playing Bayern Munich in the Champions League quarter-final, right? We'll see, and they were in the semi-finals last year against City. Fucking good they were last year as well, but City were they were obscene. When they played them, what was it, quarters or semis? I can't remember what it was, but they were obscene. City, they were so perfect in every way. Yeah.
No. Sorry, I'm trying to get this working.
What are you doing? The thingy.
Yeah, did they drop a few key players? I don't know. I'm not being following
Let's not be all miserable about it. I was delighted that fucking goal got disallowed at the end. I mean, I didn't agree with it, but I was delighted. Right? Absolutely. I thought we fucked it. And so I was swearing, I was cursing, and then suddenly it all come good. So that's all right. It was an important result when you look at the other results around us, because Chelsea were just a couple of minutes again from being a few points behind us today. They fucked it again. Newcastle won. They're only 1 point behind us now. I looked at the remaining games the other day, and at this business end of the season now, look, the run-in that Chelsea have got, I mean, I think they do better against better teams. They do crap against, but they're still unbeaten for like 5 or 6 games.
Yeah,
they just keep conceding. They've won a few and they've drawn a load. Right? They've turned it around a bit, but they just don't have the quality. That I think it makes you wonder what they've spent all that fucking money on, doesn't it? Not that
but they are absolutely fucked because they've spent so much money on overpriced players on ridiculously long contracts. They're stuck with them. I mean, they've got that what's his name, Ukraine Bolt up front. He's just a
Bolt.
He's just a sprinter, isn't he? They've got a couple of good players, but when you consider the amount that they've spent, I think they're up shit creek because they can't buy their way out of trouble anymore because of FFP.
No, they can't. They can't
do it.
Here's Luke.
Hello, Luke.
You all right,
move Luke up from the bottom. Yeah,
I will.
We're doing, Luke. I bought my Snoop cue because I thought the Jimmy White fella could sign it for me.
Come on, Luke, Nathan, fuck off.
I've been waiting to say that ever since I've been wanting to come on. I was like, I'm going to get my Snoop cue out if I ever go on there.
I'm really pleased. I've been keeping going to Nick. Get Luke on.
It's all right, mate. I can't talk. Look at my barnet, mate. There's nowhere left, mate.
What's the fucking movie on that? What are you saying?
Luke, what did you make of the? Just very quickly before we get into the player ratings, what did you make of the game against Wolves?
The first half, mate, I keep repeating myself. It's like, can I watch any worse every week? It's like, this is the worst half I've ever seen. It's the worst game I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Second half, we was a lot better when he changed it a little bit, when he was forced into it. But again, we got lucky, didn't we? Set piece goal and a penalty. Yeah. We're not scoring from open play. And it shouldn't be the case. We constantly keep getting told, don't we, that we should be grateful. Oh, look, West Ham are in 7th still, aren't we?
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean? I like Johnson. I thought Johnson was excellent. No,
he was unbelievable.
Again, mate. Yeah.
But how frustrating a good. Go on, Gal.
Why are we not giving him a contract? He's on 20 grand a week, right? He's a young Englishman, 23 years old. He can do a job in the Premier League. He's proved that he's a Premier League level player. He's not a world beater, but he's a fucking good squad player to have. Why ain't we giving him the 50 grand a week he wants and just sign him up? Don't see him go to Palace on a free, right? And have him pop up on Match of the Day as the superstar, because he will. He will. With regular games, he'll get better and better. His confidence will increase, and he'll go back to what he was when he first got in the first team for us, which was he looked bloody good.
He did. Look, he's been, because he's a victim of his own versatility, I think, Johnson. Because you can play him anywhere. He's ended up with no fucking position. Whereas if he'd have just been brought in and maintained on that side, he would have been a fantastic right back. He would have, but he's been pulled from pillar to post. He hasn't been developed. You know, he's as good now probably as he was when he came through. Moyes doesn't develop fucking anyone. He doesn't do it.
No.
But he is a homegrown player. When you went through the squad the other day, Gary, and you look at the amount of players that we've got left, yeah, fair enough. It's harrowing enough to think that we've got this small squad, but we have to have a certain quota of English players.
It took,
and he's one of them.
He is, and it took Moyes 3 fucking awful games where he was targeted, Masuaku style. He was targeted by Newcastle, Tottenham, and then yesterday by Wolves. It took 2.5 games for him to get replaced by Johnson. Right? He should not have played after that. He needed a rest after that Newcastle game.
Yeah, he did. I mean, what do you reckon is going to happen against Leverkusen or moving ahead to Fulham? Do you think Soufal's lost his spot now, or do you think he'll be straight back in?
I hope so, mate. I hope so. I think Johnson did enough. And I think, who is it? Is it Frimpong that will be running down that wing, or is that the other wing? He's right back, and they've got so much pace, mate, and they will just kill us, mate. They will absolutely kill us if it's not Johnson in now. But I did like Emerson getting pushed up as well. But you can't play Cresswell in that game. It's a hard one, isn't it?
I think, but I do think that with having Emerson on that side, you know what it'll do. He'll double him up as fullback, so Emerson will get back and help Cresswell. It could work, because I think the one thing we've got to try and do, I do think we've got to try and keep the tie alive.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's got to be a shithouse performance, mate. I do.
Probably, you know, if we can shithouse a 0-0 or even at the very worst a 1-0 defeat, I'll feel quite confident. I will.
Johnny in the chat said Johnson wants 80k a week. It's the first time I've heard that, Johnny.
It's not 80k. It's not 80k. I promise you, it's not. It's 50k.
Yeah,
that's it. He wants a first team squad player's wage. To give you an example, James Ward-Prowse earns 105 grand a week.
Yeah,
Danny Ings earns 120 grand a week. Yeah. I think Souček's on 60 or 70. He's on 70 grand a week. So I don't know. I mean, Zuma's on a ridiculous amount of money. Even Ogbonna, bless him. I love Ogbonna, but he's on 80 grand a week.
Yeah.
He cleans the kits at the moment, doesn't he?
Yeah, I know.
It's season ticket holder.
Yeah, it is crazy, but he does deserve it. And there is always going to be a premium for British players, isn't there? That's
and he's a West Ham fan as well. That's what I like. He's a West Ham boy. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have some of them around.
Not every player you bring through is going to be a superstar, and he's not a superstar, but he's a good, solid Premier League level player. So why the fuck should we just give him away? Just give him his own position and try to bring him on in that position. He is a right back, straight right wing back. Yesterday he looked more of a wing back than a right back. I thought he was very impressive. But yeah, why would you just let him go on a free? I don't get it.
Yeah, I know. Right, let's get into the player ratings. Luke, you know the format on these, didn't you? You've seen enough of these shows.
Mate. Yeah,
We get one each. You give your score, and then we all argue with you. That's basically the way it works. So Lucas Fabianski, mate, go on. You start at the top.
He weren't really tested at all, was he? And to be honest with you, you know the goal that was offside. If you watched, you know, the highlights of it and all that, they said he could have probably moved and maybe would have got in the right position for it. Potentially, you could have said that. I don't know. 6. I don't think he was that good. I prefer Areola, and I think sometimes he's a bit slow with his distribution as well. Sometimes
he is. Areola's a massive miss. I mean, how many points has Areola got us this season?
No, mate. I think we'd be down there, mate. I think we would be down there if we didn't have him.
Yeah, I think
we would be. Right, we go. Gary, give you Emerson.
It was a game of 2 halves for Emerson. I didn't think he was particularly impressive in the first half. He was it was mainly down Soufal's side, but I didn't see anything from Emerson in the first half, because even Paqueta was having a strop out on the left when he had a bad half. So he had nothing in front of him. So I don't really blame him. When he was moved onto the wing or as a wing back with, I think Cresswell, it was a 3 at the back, and he was moved to a wing back, wasn't he? I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah,
because Cresswell helped out with the defensive part, but we were camped in their half forward game anyway. I'd give him on balance a 7.
A 7. Right, now I'm going to share this, and I'm going to leave myself open to ridicule. It's a story that I shared on the group yesterday, Gary. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to take Soufal on this one, and I'm not going to give him a donkey, even though he deserves a donkey for his first half performance, because I thoroughly believe the message that I was sent. It was from a good source, and this was directly after the game. And that was that there was fireworks at half time, massive fireworks. You hear a very different story from David Moyes afterwards. You hear a very different story from Cresswell. Came out and said the manager gave a rousing speech, and Moyes came out and said, no, the first half weren't good enough. But apparently, what happened was David Moyes got the players in at half-time, and his message to the players was, well done, lads. It's only 1-0. We'll keep doing this. It's working, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, Soufal was, even though he had a shit game, Soufal was the man that stood up and said it weren't good enough. We're lucky to only be 1-0 down. Should be worse. Yeah. It should be worse. We can't keep playing like this. We're inviting pressure onto ourselves. Moyes reacted badly. Then other senior players stepped in. I don't know which other ones did. But having said that, did Souček not come off with him?
Yeah.
Souček and Soufal both got hooked off, and then he gave a bit of and then he gave a bit of a scathing message after the game to say these players that are in the first team, that he basically put them in their place. He don't normally do that, and he was referring to them too. But other players in that group all jumped in. Apparently, it was a little bit en masse, and that is what forced a bit of a change in the way that we played. The players, so I'm told, went forward, and I do believe it. Yeah. So I would have given Soufal a donkey because he deserved it, but I'm marking him up to a 5. No donkey for Soufal today.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's true. That's brilliant.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Micky.
Yo.
Who do you want, Mavropanos or Zuma? Take your pick.
Doesn't matter.
Mavropanos, go on.
Go on then. Mavropanos was all right, but I can't mark anyone on the first half. I'm sorry, I can't. It was just boring as shit. Mavropanos, I mean, to be fair, I think he was average. Weren't great, but he weren't shit either. There's not much else I can really say about the defence for me. A 6. I'll give him an average.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Just like you.
Thanks, mate. That's lovely. I think that's the nicest thing you've ever said about me.
Right, Kurt Zouma, same sort of thing. I think he did. He put in a lovely tackle, a very important tackle, didn't he? I was surprised to see him go to ground and put a tackle in. Yeah. He's put in 3 good performances on the spin, to be honest. Zouma,
bit of a partnership there developing.
Seems to be. But he's literally proving also that he can play 90 minutes in successive games. Maybe his knees ain't as bad as what we thought they were. I don't know.
That is true.
He didn't seem to be struggling at all. I'm going to give him
a 6.
He
really celebrated at the end as well, didn't he? When he made like a big tackle at the end, he was like, "Kitty, yeah," and he's like, "I like that.
Really
I like seeing that."
Yeah,
really good. So I'm going to give him a 6 as well. Like I said, I don't think anyone was particularly great today. We'll go to Alvarez for you, Luke.
I love Alvarez. It wasn't his best game. I think in possession, he wasn't that good. I think he wasted possession quite a lot. Yeah. But defensively, he does so much, mate. He's key, and I think him and Antonio at the minute are key to what we're trying to do under this Moyes ball system.
Yeah.
I think you've got to give him a 7 just for how important he is in there. Just because,
and also he's playing with fucking Jedward in front of him as well.
He's playing with lampposts, 2 lampposts next to him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So you say a 7, yeah?
Yeah, people might not agree with that, but he's so important to what we do.
I love Alvarez.
He's constantly carrying the ball as well, right?
Do you know what I was worried about? Do you know what I was worried about? And I think he did. The last time because David Moyes, before this game, David Moyes had a sort of little pop at him, didn't he, about getting all the yellow cards and playing the way he's playing, didn't he, David Moyes, in his press conference. And the last time he said that about Alvarez was sort of, he weren't getting into the challenges as much and pushing it back. But I don't think you can put a lead on him. I think you need Alvarez to play like Alvarez.
Yeah.
And I think that he did. I think especially the first half, and I think he was a little bit wary of when to make a tackle and jump in on people. But you just can't do that. He's not his game.
No, I agree. Right, Gary.
Prowse. Well, Nick, I know you'll agree with me on this. I thought that corner, the way he applied side spin to that ball, and it's extreme left side, right, and the way it just turned left naturally by itself without any wind assistance whatsoever, I thought was magnificent. Borderline goal of the season, right?
To be fair to him,
fucking quality.
To be fair to him, he did say in the post-match interview the wind helped.
He did. I'm taking the piss out of people on Twitter, right? He was honest, and even Moyes said it was probably wind assisted, right? So,
well, how could he not?
I know. Listen, he took a few good set pieces yesterday. That's all he did. He was just poor other than that. So, I've got to give him a point for the goal, even though he didn't mean it. So, I'll give him a 5.
Okay, that's fine. Do you know what?
People are going 6s and 7s. I don't see that.
No, not for James Ward-Prowse. Honestly, I swear to you, That is, when I call him a second referee, I mean it. Wherever you see the ball, you will see James Ward-Prowse within 4 to 5 feet of it. He chases it around like a fucking puppy. He's there. He covers about. He runs more kilometres than Mo Farah does.
Oh, he covers a lot of ground.
He's all over the pitch. And then the minute someone gives him the ball, he's like a human rebounder. He just gives it straight back to him. He's like, no, go on, fuck off. I don't want it. He gives it straight back to him.
Yeah.
He gets bullied as well. He gets bullied off the ball.
He does.
Big time.
I'm not. I am sorry. People think that my judgment of James Ward-Prowse is clouded because I hate him. I don't hate him. I just think he's average. He would not get in any other top 10 team. No fucking way would he get in another top 10 team. Ask yourselves why other teams were not queuing around the block for his signature. There was no one else. Anyway,
look at that from Keith Knight, goal scorer, Storm Kathleen.
Yeah.
Jimmy too. Dad's gone.
Should we rate the wind? Afterwards?
Yeah.
Right, Thomas Souček was epically shit, like Soufal, epically shit in that first half. I mean, that we could have gone 1-0 up if the ball hadn't got fucking just trapped under his big lumbering limbs that he's got, his legs. I don't know what he did there. He was useless. Really poor. Like Alvarez in the first half struggled to carry those two. You can't carry both. You can only carry one.
Yep.
At least Ward-Prowse has got a specialism, I suppose, if you can call it that. But Souček was non-existent. So for me, he is a donkey on that one.
How about that sitter he missed? He missed
that's
that
what I mean.
sitter,
Right at the start. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What if he did? He was trying to protect his mate Soufal after time. He did spinny on Moyes. What do you reckon?
I reckon he would back him up. Souček. He loves Soufal.
Yeah. I'll
tell you what. Could you imagine Paqueta if Moyes ever started on Emerson? Oh, he loves him, doesn't he?
Is Arne Slot back at Feyenoord because he was off sick? Is he back because he was off sick? He was taking leave of absence.
No idea. Right, so we go. Micky, give you Paqueta, Pac-Man.
As you said, in the first half, he looked totally pissed off. And like, I don't even want to be in his fucking boys' team.
He was useless in the first half. He just didn't look interested. Yeah.
No, of course he didn't. And you can't blame him. Not one of his best games, but I struggled to find out anyone who had a best game in this game. So I still love him now. I think he's fantastic. But for him, I'd give him, I'm looking at the chat, people saying 5s and 7s. I'm going to go in the middle and give him a 6 as well. I think he was average.
Yeah.
Personally. So, yeah, I'm happy with a 6.
It looked far better the minute we brought it. There's no coincidence that we were better in the second half because Paqueta's in the middle running the game.
Yeah, but of course, but then it makes sense, and that's why. But everyone was better in the second half. That's all. That's all I can base it on. Really, I can't base.
Yeah.
If I was to score him in the first half, he would have been a donkey because everyone was non-existent in the first half. So that's why I'm basing it on the second and giving him a 6.
I know. Right?
His diving pisses me off that as well. That is starting to piss me off, the diving.
Yeah.
I love him, but
he's the only one trying to win something. Every other team does it, and but I think the problem is he don't get it. He hardly ever gets the decision for him.
No, it's true.
They just sort of tell him to go fuck himself. Really.
But look, is that a selective hatred of diving, or did you enjoy the one against Spurs?
Oh no,
you love that one, didn't
you? The Spurs one.
Yeah.
No, but like someone like Neymar back in the day, like such a good player. Like, you don't need to dive, mate. You're good enough. Do you know what I mean? There's time and a place for it.
Did you see that wanker Ben White for Arsenal yesterday?
I hate Arsenal.
Did you see the way he went down?
Yeah.
He literally got touched in the face, went down like he'd been shot.
Well, he smudged his fake tan, didn't he? So
what a dick. Right, Luke, Bowen.
He didn't have the best of games. I thought he pressed well in the sort of first 10 minutes when he hustled Semedo and then got it into Souček's feet. I thought that was quite nice from him. But obviously with the injury, I think you can't really give him more than a 5 or 6. And God forbid, please let this geezer be, fit for Thursday because he's so important. He's the only clinical finisher we've got.
We really need him. I am worried because Bowen isn't a wimp.
No.
He did really fucking hurt himself when he went down. If it's a hip injury, look, I'll be amazed if he's ready for Thursday. I don't think we'll see him on Thursday, regardless of what people are saying. I know he came back on the bench. He was able to walk off. You know, why wouldn't he come back on the bench and watch the rest of the game? That for me, he couldn't move. Every time he kicked the ball, he kept on going back to his hip. I'll be surprised if he's ready for Thursday, and that's a massive miss if that does happen.
You won't know, will you, until he kicks the ball, really. What Johnny H says there about loves the Paqueta shithousery, I can sympathise with that a little bit because, it does annoy me a little bit, but I forgive him because he's so fucking great.
Yeah.
And like I say, that it is selective because when he did it against Spurs, that was one of his best moments. The way he looked and smiled at the Spurs fans, I fucking loved it. He's such a bastard.
One of the best photos ever. He does believe heavily in shithousery. He really does.
Yeah. Right, Micky, Caduce.
I thought he was quite off it yesterday. Like his shots and that were wayward. Decision making was poor. I think that's probably the worst game I've seen him play, and it wasn't that bad. I'm just saying to you, from what I've seen, Kudus. For me, I'd have to probably give him a below average performance from him. He tried, but like I said, he was just way off it for me yesterday. Kudus.
Well, that style of play doesn't help anyone. Does it? Don't help anyone in that team.
He did a lot of defending first half. He was everyone did, but he was sitting so deep first half. It was unbelievable.
He was.
It's a crime, actually, putting a player like him and Paqueta and Bowen, putting them so deep. It's a crime. Should be a criminal offence. Should be arrested.
And the simply genius sub of bringing Cresswell on and pushing Emerson further up, Gary. You can have Cresswell. Go on.
Well, Cresswell, I thought, came on and did exactly what they wanted him to. It was a very, very good performance from Cresswell. Helped to change the game around. So I'll be generous. Don't get much game time. Give him an 8.
Oh, fair enough.
Half a game. It was for the half, right? It was only for a half.
Right, for me, I'll take Johnson. I think he really transformed the way that we was playing. They was targeting us down that right-hand side. I love the way he drives the ball, and he don't just drive up the wing. It's not, my job is to go in that direction. He does cut inside and drive through the middle as well. He's really, really good. He had that wonderful shot with his weak foot. You know, he had that wonderful shot with his weak foot, the left-footed volley. I think he was tremendous. I don't think he did anything wrong. The only thing he did wrong was shank that ball, which went out for a corner. But it was high winds.
I love the volley.
Swirling.
The volley was good.
Yeah. That's what I mean. The volley was brilliant. So for me, I'm going to give. I won't go any higher.
Mark Cresswell down to a 7 because Cresswell wasn't as good as him. So do that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Johnson was superb, really good, and it does make it even more confusing when it's embarrassing for the club. When you look at the business with the David Moyes, it's embarrassing. All right, ignore 7th in the league. His transfer business is fucking shocking. You know, the James Ward-Prowse signing is not a good signing. I know there's decent stats there, but he is not a good midfielder for us in this team. He needs to be replaced.
It's a terrible signing. We didn't need him. We didn't
need him. Calvin Phillips. Fuck me. Wow. You know, and that's we let Flynn Downs go. We let Flynn Downs go to Southampton. It would have been a perfect understudy to Alvarez. Pablo Fornals, if he'd have been given a little bit more love, he wouldn't have deteriorated the way that he did. His average ratings in Spain for Betis at the moment are 7.5. So every game he's getting 7.5 upwards. He's playing so well for him. So that's another player, and he went and got him. And this decision with Johnson to keep on sticking with Soufal, he's a limited player. Everyone loves him because he's a warrior, but he's a limited player that's getting older. He's a terrible defensive right back. He's good going forward. He can get you an assist, but he's a terrible defensive right back. I don't think there's any comparison between him and Johnson. I really don't. I've always said the same thing. And I do think I think it's got too little too late. I think even if he started playing him now, Johnson and his agent will have been going sounding out deals for other clubs at this point.
Yeah.
They will have been talking to other clubs. So it probably is going to be a case of too little too late because it ain't just going to be money that he wants. He's been patient. He's probably going to want some sort of guarantee that he's going to at least be given a run in the team. You know, like now, after that performance. Yeah,
all right, but if that's the case for me, because I think a little bit differently, because if that's the case, now I like Johnson as a person, he's a West Ham fan, but if that's the case, I'd rather him not. I think he's always been better when he's come on as a sub. I don't really rate Johnson.
You've never really. When he first came in, Mick,
he looked good.
He had a horrendous run of games. He played Man City. We played Liverpool. We played basically everyone that was in the top 6. He was the only fullback in the league at that point that didn't get taken on.
No, that's fine. But
he was stopping everyone.
Then Moyes started putting him everywhere.
Yeah, but then Moyes started chopping and changing him, killed that momentum, and he's never been the same since.
And then what happened was
the way you're basing him on the games that you've seen him play is the way I'm basing him. And for me, I'm not a massive Johnson fan. Like I do think he should be at in the squad and get a new contract. I do believe that, but not as a first team player. Not for me. I think that there's loads better out there.
What I think. He should be a first-team player now with Soufal at right back.
Yeah, possibly. I don't think I'd argue that. But if he wants the guarantees that he's going to be like more of a starter next season, then I think that we should be looking somewhere else. That's just my personal opinion.
I think what you should be guaranteed as a player, when you're a squad player or a bench player, you should be guaranteed that if you're a backup, if you come in for someone who's playing badly and you play well and you grab the opportunity, you'll get a chance. You'll get a run. That's the very least that you should get given as inspiration to come on and perform.
Yeah, and I can't disagree with that because I've been saying that about Ings and the way he performed when he come on. So I'd be like two-faced if I said differently. But what I'm saying is that Johnson always seems better when he's come on, especially the last few weeks when he's come on as a sub. When he started, I just don't really rate him that highly as other people do.
No. I mean, he's had a lot of stinkers, Mick. He's had some really bad games, and he did, and that's this season as well. But what he's done since he came on against Bristol City, wasn't it? I think Bristol City he came on, and he put in a really good sort of swashbuckling performance. And he's had a few appearances since, and he ain't let anyone down, right? And that's all you can say. He ain't let anyone down. He ain't set the world alight, but really, that's what you want for a defender. You know, he is a cover defender. He can cover the right back, the right wing back, and the right side of centre, right? He can do all three of those jobs. So he ain't going to be a first choice at the moment. He might be someone that matures.
But the thing is,
because he's playing in the same position over time.
You do need players like this. You need players, and he's versatile. He can play in a number of different positions. You need players like him and Flynn Downs, because until we're a Champions League team, if we ever get there, we're never going to be able to have an Alvarez on the bench.
No.
We're not going to be able to have a Kudus on the bench. So you need players that are good fucking backups, good solid professional players.
Yeah.
You're never going to be able to have world beaters on the bench.
And he's who's a utility player. Like, he can play. He's versatile. He can play in a lot of different positions. And I like him for that. He's definitely a good sub. How about you, Luke? What do you reckon on Johnson? Where do you sit with him?
I'd like him to stay, mate. I sort of agree with Gary a little bit. He obviously can play left back as well when needed. He has played left back, so that's left, right, and centre back. Yeah. And we've seen him in midfield a few times this season. Like you're saying, you need someone like that in your team. You know, like the Milners at Liverpool and stuff like that. Like, they're not going to play every week, but at least he can cover if we get in the shit. You know, I'd keep him. I would keep him.
100%. And I don't think it would be that hard to keep him. And 50 grand a week is not a lot of money for a Premier League squad player. Look, it's a lot of money to us, normal people, but that is not a lot of money for a Premier League, especially somebody like him. You know, he's come through this. He's earned his stripes, I think. Johnson
our average wage, our average wage last season. I was looking at some stats today. This last season, right, was 60 grand a week. So 50 grand a week. He's not even asking for an average wage at West Ham.
No.
And then when you consider some of the shit that what they're on.
Oh yeah.
He's like, as you said, he's done his time. Like I said, I'm never going to diss Johnson. I just don't think he's a starter for me ever.
I'll take exception to what 2007 Tarkus said. He is today's Jeff Pike. Jeff Pike, the water carrier, was actually a fucking important member of that team. He was a proper first teamer. Tarkus, come on, mate. He was good. I mean, he wasn't he'd done all the unglamorous shit.
Yeah,
right? Nobody noticed him.
Right. I did Johnson, didn't I? Luke, Antonio.
Listen, he's been brilliant, and since he's been back, running the channels, physical presence, just lets the other players go free, doesn't he? You know, Bowen and Kudus and all that. I don't think he was that good yesterday, but I'll still give him a 6 or 7 just because of the way he occupies others to free up the others to do something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A 6 or 7, yeah.
I think we'll go with it. Go on, make a choice. 7.
Everyone's saying 7 in the chat, so I'll get some fans and go with your chat.
I think Antonio. This is the thing with, and I think we've learned now a lot of the because he always got so much shit, Antonio. And we've always backed him up.
I'm guilty of it. I slagged him off something rotten, mate, for 2 years.
Yeah, but we've always backed him up, not because he's a champagne footballer, because he ain't, but because he's so important to the way that Moyes that we play. So important. Yep. If he ain't there, we struggle with it. I know we had a period without him, and for a while we did all right with those 3 up front. We did, but fundamentally, Moyes ball needs Antonio to function. It does. Yeah, it does. And even if he ain't playing well and looking good, just him battering defenders and fucking
just occupies, mate.
Occupying them, causing chaos. It gives other players
because he don't know what he's going to do as well. The defenders don't know what he's going to do with his trampoline feet and all that. They get confused.
But don't he surprise you every now and then? Because he does look like a clumsy bastard. He always has done. He's so.
And then he pulls off Ronaldinho skills.
He'll pull off some skills, or he'll pick out a beautiful cross, a perfect cross, or something, and you think, "Fuck me, where did that come from?" So I think he's better than we give him credit for sometimes as well.
I think he is. Really? But it's stuff that he ain't got time to think about. It's stuff that comes naturally to him. When he has time to think about something,
like Tottenham game.
Yeah.
When he missed that big chance, he had to think about it, didn't he?
Exactly. If he's close to the goal, he puts that away, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Right. So, Gary, have you got anything you want to attack Sullivan for this week?
Yes, I do. Go to someone else first of all, though, because I want to have a quick think about it.
David Sullivan. No. Go on. I'm going to throw you in the deep end. Do it. Go on. Got to do Sullivan first. Go on.
Well, where do we start with David Sullivan? Giving myself time to think.
Well, go on in.
Yes. So, what
is he still a cunt? First of all,
he's still a cunt. But what's actually happened? This week is that they've gone on this thing. It really irritates me. He leads the club. It really irritates me that the fans are getting a large portion of the fan base are getting stick across the media, right? And the only message still that we've had out of the club is season tickets are going up. Consider yourself lucky. We should have put them up years ago, right? Nobody is actually fighting our corner. Nobody from the club. Nobody. You don't expect the players to. You don't expect the manager to. But you would expect someone to fucking say that, like a few people have said, that we're entitled to our opinion, right? And nobody said it. Lady Brady, fucking idiot, as wrote in the Sun column yesterday about Moyes not getting enough VAR decisions. So I don't know if she's probably patting herself on the head tonight about what a great move because we finally got one, probably crediting herself with that. And I think it's frustrating the fuck out of people that the club are completely silent on Moyes whilst the season ticket renewals are out there. People want to know who the next manager is going to be.
I think it's quite plain to see that the conspiracy theory that I think it might have been Chris Shepherd put a message out about it. We both commented on it on the on a community thing. And he basically said, do we think that they're going to keep hold of David Moyes to flush out some season ticket holders? Because we now know that they fucked up, basically. They didn't have enough faith in the West Ham fan base when we moved into that stadium. That is why. They didn't move there for affordable football. They marketed it as such because they wanted to basically fill it up, and they didn't think that we would unless they almost gave tickets away.
Yeah.
They didn't give us enough credit. They didn't back us in. They're not backing us now. And now they've got a load of season ticket holders, on concessions and stuff like that, which you don't have at other clubs, that they're trying to flush out. So existing concessions, under 21s is disappearing. That's going. So there's not going to be a concession price there now for new season ticket holders. And even if you do get concessions, it's only going to be in certain bands. So if you want to sit in any of the good seats, you won't be able to get a fucking concession. You've got to pay full price. They've already moved it from over 65s to over 66, and now they're moving it to over 67.
That's shit. That's really shit. Anyone that retires now can't get a concession ticket. Nope. They've got to carry on paying adult fees, or they've got to go with their aging legs up to the top of the fucking stadium.
Yeah, but there is a part of me that kind of buys what Chris was saying, because he said, "Do you think that they will not, but that they actually want some season ticket holders to not renew. They want a portion.
Yes.
They want 10 to 20% to not renew, so that they can resell their tickets at the full whack prices that they're bringing in.
They've realised how easy it is, Nick, to sell tickets, right? They've realised how easy it is to sell tickets because of where it is, because of the transport links, because of the tourism. They can easily have 30,000, 25,000 season ticket holders and then sell those other tickets on the day through agencies and God, they don't care who sits in the seats as long as someone does. Right.
Yeah, of course they don't.
And that's why I will renew, but I'm not going to renew until I know
leave
who
it
the
just
manager
leave it.
is.
Just leave it until right at the last minute.
That's what I used to do every year, and that's what I'm going to do this year. And everyone should do that, right? Everyone should do that. And those who are completely outraged, if that fucker ends up staying, and you feel so strongly about it, because I will definitely be in two minds. Put it like that. But knowing me, I've seen a lot worse than this before, and I probably will end up renewing. And part of that reason is I don't want to. If that is true, what you just said, I don't want to give my two prime.
It does make you. It does make you feel like that. Like you referenced a Sean Whetstone podcast, and more than just a podcast.
I hated that podcast. Yeah, no, that podcast was great, right?
It's a great podcast, but the way he spoke about the fans, honestly, Sean gets briefed from the club, so. Honestly,
what he said the other day, Nick. What he said the other day made my blood boil. Right, and to be fair, Nigel, I texted Nigel and I said, thanks for doing that because he hit back big time, and Cannington lended as well because. Sean, he had Ian Dale on there, obviously a Tory presenter on the media. He expects to be his ally in capitalism and God knows what else, right? And wealth and whatever. Anyway, even Ian Dale was uncomfortable and would not agree with him when he made this statement. He actually came out and said, I'm sure Ian will agree with me, won't you, Ian, that it's the wealth creators who take all the risk and everything else, right? And the fact is, Nigel was trying to make the point that what they paid for that club and what they've earned at that club it's a fraction of what it's worth now, right?
Nigel was fucking brilliant, Gary.
It really was.
Because very quickly, Nigel was fucking brilliant because what he was doing was he was trying to peddle this puff piece on how the board are whiter than white. They've never taken any money out, this, that, the other. And then Nigel went straight in and he went, what about the shares they sold to Kretinsky? Yeah. What about this? What about that? He literally took them out of the knees both times. He was really good.
But that narrative, Nick, where they say the wealth creators are the people who put the money in, that is another way of saying all the workers that work for that person in that organisation, they have nothing to do with creating that wealth. It's all to do with the people who front it up with the money, right? And it's utter bollocks. It's utter bollocks.
It got beaten, didn't it, on that podcast when you're talking about?
Oh, it was a really good row. It was a good row.
It was a good row, and like I said, Sean, as you said, you boys in that, Sean. It was like gaslighting. He wasn't, but it's what it kind of was because Harry was trying to stick up for their decision and saying they've made a mistake about the low pricing of tickets and everything. But for me, there's no excuse.
And he's quite naughty, Sean, as well, because when he's trying to peddle a point like that and somebody does what Nigel did, what he does is his tactic is to cut them off. Nigel was not fucking having it.
He weren't having it, was he? You're talking over me. I'll talk over you.
You're giving me the fucking up. I'm going to talk over you now. He had the right up with him. Yeah, it was really good. Really good.
I found it made my blood boil what he said, and he's just trying to justify that is the narrative coming out of the club because they see now that they probably puffed up by all the fans they saw in Prague. All the fucking pictures, the full stadium, the streets of Prague, and then the following day back here, with hundreds of thousands of people in the street. They must have suddenly thought, fucking hell, there's a lot of supporters, isn't there? And they just think that they can do what they like to us, right? They think they can do what they like to us, say what they like. If you don't go to, a certain amount of games, we'll take your ticket away. We'll just replace you. Early in the season, Sean said another thing about, what was it? He said, if you don't want to renew, don't worry about it. We'll just sell it to someone else. That is not the message you want coming from your sharing, caring club, right? No. David Sullivan He's not a respectable businessman. He deals in property now, but let's not forget where he got his empire from porn, right?
Yeah,
from porn. Hardcore porn, selling tapes in the fucking 70s. He grew up, then he got into making porn films, right? And Lady Brady, the self-made woman, the representative, the person, the role model, sits in the fucking House of Lords, right? She got her first break when her dad, who was a very rich man, obviously, business associate of Sullivan, I think she saw that Birmingham was for sale in the Financial Times, called up Uncle Dave Sullivan, and he bought it for her, right? That's how she became the youngest CEO ever, right? That she's got, you know. It winds me up.
But do you know something? With Lady Brady, a lot of people say because she isn't a shareholder, right?
Yeah.
So people say, well, she has no bearing on certain things. Oh yes, she fucking does.
Oh yes, she does.
I've had it on good authority that when Tim Starting came in, Tim Starting came in as a director of football. He was going to be from day one running the full operational side, and David Moyes was going to be reporting to him. It was never expected when he was appointed that we was going to be going and winning that cup, but when he did, and obviously the fanfare around it, what happened was they then told David Moyes what they were doing. It was at that point that they told him, because that's how underhand they are. They was just going to sort of let him go. David Moyes went, well, I'm not going to do it. I'm not reporting to him. I'm going to go. They obviously worried about reputational damage. Karen Brady is a massive Moyes supporter, huge. Yes. And she applied pressure, and I've got this literally, honestly, she is the one that applied pressure to Sullivan, who wanted to let him go because he wanted to back Stein. Yeah. She applied pressure on him, and he caved. Now, why has she got so much pull? Because I don't understand it, because she isn't a shareholder. So how can, with all due respect...
I think she's got the negatives, Nick. She's got the negatives.
What does her opinion mean? Fuck all.
Yeah. I don't know what she's doing, even commenting on the football side of things. She's supposed to be there to run the business. Get your face in a spreadsheet, run the business, right?
Yeah.
You put our fucking tickets up. What I want to know is this. You put our tickets up on average by 11%. I want to know that every single permanent FTE, every single permanent employee at West Ham got an 11% pay rise as well. If that's the impact of inflation on our fucking ticket prices. I bet they didn't.
She's horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Right, yeah, so Sullivan remains a cunt. David Moyes, that first half, and the way that he set up, and also the prequel to the game, we was all prepared for what we was gonna be faced with his pre-match press conference, where he spoke about, well, you know, the Man United Chelsea game was fun, 4-3, but they're all good. All the Premier League games are good. But I enjoyed the 0-0 as well, the Man City Arsenal game. It was really good, Depends how you view football, good, resolute defensive performances. He gave us, honestly, he makes my fucking blood boil. He does, and that is. He's got no interest in attacking football. He gets nothing out of. I'm telling you now, if we go out, play beautiful football, and win 4-0, he doesn't get anything out of it. He doesn't get anything out of it. He would much rather shit out a 1-0 win with a James Ward-Prowse corner off Souček's arse. That's beautiful with 12% possession. That's his wet dream. He tried to do it again. What he did in the last half an hour against Spurs, he brought into this game. I think you've alluded to it, Gary. It's almost like a warm up of what we're probably going to see against Leverkusen. This kind of static. It was the worst version of defensive football I've ever seen, because it was lifeless. They were like statues on the pitch. Yeah. They weren't pressing anywhere. And he can go in and rip into his players all he wants, which he didn't do. He only had an argument when they had an argument with him. They're doing that under instruction. Professional players don't go on the pitch and don't press, just stand there. They do that under instruction.
Yeah.
They do that under instruction. It did not work. He's gone out there. I don't know. What the fuck was he trying to achieve with that tactic? Luke, please tell me. If that's your tactic, if that's your vision of football, you're approaching Wolves, who have got no forward line. Their forward line, they're gone. They're out. They've got no Neto, no Chan. They've got no.
I don't get it, mate. I don't. I love pressing football. Me and my dad always watch it. I'm going, look, when we actually press, we forced a mistake like we did in the first half. First 10 minutes, we pressed really hard, got Semedo, didn't we? And nearly scored. And then we just stopped. Yeah. We're the worst team at pressing. We're the worst passing team in the league. That was Wolves' second string, and they passed the ball better than I've ever seen West Ham pass this season. We're shocking at passing the football.
They were so good in the first half, but they had no cutting edge. I mean, they went 1-0 up, but they didn't have any forward threat. Basically,
I did like that fake Salah, although he was playing left back for him.
Yeah, he was good. He was
a good player.
What a left back! What a left back!
Yeah.
But that, to approach the game like that, we were so lucky that game wasn't done, dead and buried at half time. We could not have complained if we were 2-0 or 3-0 down. Now, he went in at half time. Let's ignore the Soufal story and let's just say it was nothing to do with Soufal and the other players. It was all on David Moyes. I'm not going to give him credit for what he did, Because all he did was simply unfuck a colossal fuck up that should never have happened at the start of the game. That should never have happened. You should never approach a game like that, ever. And it just strikes me that whenever we win a game lately, 99% of the games where we win, it's fine margins. We're either pissing our pants moaning about a bad VAR decision, which if that had have gone our way, we'd have won. This one went our way and we won. Why has it got to be left to such fine margins against the fucking Wolves teams that were so depleted? And if you look at their recent run of form, they have not been great because of the injuries that they've got. I don't understand it. I don't accept it. He's privileged to have this fucking group of players that he's got and not be in a situation where they are breaking down. They're not. They're still fit. His team is still fit. I think it's disgusting the way that he approached that game, and for me, that is a donkey. I don't give a fuck if he reversed it and we came back into it. To even approach and think and sit before a game to plan and approach a game like that. All of their preparation that week must have been to fucking stand there like statues and try and stop Wolves from getting through them. That, for me, is a donkey performance. So I'm giving him a 4 for that. I am.
I agree with you there, because for the first half, he gets 0, right? He gets 0. He fucked up the formation. He fucked up the strategy. It was crap. It was utter crap. He set us up as sitting ducks and let them, and we were lucky we weren't 2-0 down. And in the second half, he put a couple of good substitutions on. Only the ones he should have used in the first half, by the way, right? And so he corrected his own errors, and we still only scored from a wind-assisted goal and a penalty that, let's be honest, Kilman should have not had his hand fucking sticking out for that, right?
No.
Shouldn't have happened. So 2 massive slices of luck to win that game, and then another massive slice of luck right at the end. So 3 slices of luck. So, he gets a 4 from me as well.
Right.
Who else would play Paquetá on the left wing? What other manager in the Premier League would play him there?
Nobody.
Do you know what I mean?
Nobody.
Do you know what makes it worse? To make way for these two. For them two.
Yeah, exactly.
To get them two in, you put our best player out there. Why?
Yeah.
He ain't a
Who was the best player against England the other day as well, in his natural position. And then he puts him there. It's shit. It's just
do you know what? If we're lucky enough, and I'll guarantee everyone, right? If we are lucky enough to retain Paqueta this summer, because it could happen. His court case ain't done yet, by the way. It could happen. Right, Man City can go and buy anyone. So if Paqueta's thing ain't quite ready, they'll go out and find another world-class player. They will.
Yeah.
And there ain't
I'm hoping to go and buy Bruno, to be honest, from Newcastle. I'm hoping they're going for him.
So am I.
Mm-hmm.
We could retain Paqueta. We could do, but if with a bit of luck, because apparently Granit Xhaka was accused of a similar thing, and the length of time that his case took would take us beyond the transfer window. It's not done yet. It's not done. So we could still have him. But what I was going to say is, Gal, the next manager that comes in, let's say it's Arne Slot, I fucking guarantee you our midfield will be Alvarez in the 6, it will be Paqueta in the 8, and it will be Kudus in the 10. That's what it will be. Then we'll have a striker, and we'll have Bowen on the right, and we will have a top-class left winger. That will be our midfield. If Pep Guardiola goes and buys Paqueta, he ain't playing him left wing. He's playing him next to Rodri.
You know why he plays him left wing? He plays him left wing to shut him down, right? To shut him down, because he likes to. He only likes to attack in the last 20 minutes. So his ideal game is keep it tight for 20 minutes, then move Paqueta out of his holding place. But everything Paqueta's done this season, even when he's been allocated the left wing, everything he's done that's good has come from the middle. Everything.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Of course it has. All of his assists are. I'll tell you what. We go with you next, Luke, for Moyes. Go on. Just what are your thoughts on Moyes?
I'm the same as you, mate.
Go on.
I can say cunt on this channel, can't I?
You can say
None of our pupils are watching, are they? None of our pupils are watching this one. Yeah, mate, I fucking hate him, mate. Honestly, I hate him. I used to look forward to watching West Ham every week. I don't even look forward to watching us. It's back to the Allardyce days when I had the season ticket, and I used to go to my mate, I'm leaving at half time because this is fucking shit. It's awful. Hopefully it's only 6 games, maybe more if we fluke the Europa League. But yeah, I'm done, mate. He just kills players. Like, what's Cornet got to do? What's Ings got to do? You never get a chance when you play well, mate. I fucking hate him. Quicker he goes, the better, mate. Honestly.
Agree.
Absolutely, mate. What would you give him? What would you give him for a score, mate?
Oh yeah, I'll go views, mate. Free. I'll go free. I'm going to go less than you.
Go less. Go on.
I'm going to go less.
Go on. Right, Micky.
Right, I'm going conspiracy theory here.
Go on.
Well, kind of. Right, so his first half tactics were shit and shocking, right? Now, I know some people give him credit for the Creswell and the Antonio subs at half time. Yes, they should have come off the other team, but
Johnson and Antonio.
Sorry, Johnson and Antonio. But this is where my conspiracy comes in, right? I think that he chose to bring them on because he'd rather play them than bring on Ings and Colnay for some fucking reason. He'd rather have played it. So for me, I think he got a little bit lucky in that sense. I don't think it was a master stroke and a fantastic plan of Moyes. I think that he would have been, assuming like what we've been told with the Soufal thing, I think that he would have been happy to go back out in the second half like that. Again, he got lucky as well because Bowen got injured. He wasn't going to make that change without the Bowen injury. So for me, just because I hate him, I'm giving him a C for cunt because I can't stand the geezer.
Yeah. I think
capital C. Capital C.
Yeah, capital C. I don't even want to give him a score. I really don't. I just think he's just that.
And what we do, I'm going to put a poll in the chat as well for man of the match. Who do you think our shortlist is for man of the match? What is it?
First of all, it'll be the wind. The wind for that goal.
The wind.
Johnson.
Shall I put the wind? No, I won't put the wind in there. Johnson.
No, because they will vote for the wind if you put that in.
Maybe Emerson as well. I know he gave the penalty away, but
he had a good game.
Do you think his goal should have been disallowed as well?
No, he shouldn't have been disallowed. I don't think. I think you had to see it close up to see what kind of impact he had on the guy's foot. They only showed it from a distance, didn't they?
Yeah.
I don't think it was enough to.
No, me neither.
Right, everyone. What I've done is as well. I've pinned the message to join our new membership platform that we've been boring you all with just recently. It's absolutely excellent. We're very proud of it.
Really good.
We particularly we got Amanda in there and we've got Happy Hammerette that are in there at the moment. We're trying to grow the ladies side of it as well because we've done an awful lot of good work with the male side. They're doing some great work on the women's side as well. But if there are any ladies out there that would like to join, Joan, I know that you've said that you wanted to join before. Click on that link. The link in the description as well. And obviously, gentlemen as well. So whoever does want to join it. So it's in the chat. I pinned it to the top, and it's also in there as well, in the description. So if I go to, if I run a poll. All right, hang on.
While you're doing the poll, can I just, I've starred something here, right?
Yeah, go on.
And it's this. Thanks for blanking me. Subscriber from the start with 70 starving rescue animals, and you can't even vote a West Ham memorabilia auction for Aaron. Right, now, I did see your first comment, and it was directed at John. I thought you was talking to John. As you can see, John ain't on the panel tonight. So I thought you was having a private message. He wasn't our blank, Char. We wouldn't blank people for anyone like that. So please, I would ask you, don't send messages like that. It's a bit of a shitty message, to be fair to you.
Yeah.
What's it for? I've not even seen the message.
For animal rescues. Well, he does memorabilia. They promote memorabilia.
That's fine. We'll always help out with anything. Best thing to do, mate. I always put my number on here. Send me a WhatsApp before the show with anything like that. When we do it.
Why, though, but like I said, the reason why I didn't put the first message up because he was talking to John. He actually said his name, John. But as you can see, John's not on the panel tonight. So I thought that they might have been talking secretly, like privately in the chat, if you like. Yeah, it wasn't done on purpose. So
we don't ignore people, mate.
But he put his comment up about 6 times. To be fair to you.
Don't do that because that's bollocks.
Luke's got to go. You got to go, Luke.
Yeah, mate, I got to shoot. Thank you so much for having me, lads. I love the show. Good luck with your channel. Run on to 20k, mate. Love the show. Mate.
We're gonna have to get you back on here.
Yeah,
definitely, mate. 100%, mate. Whenever you want me.
We'll do a couple of shows, mate. Anyone that doesn't know, right? Luke, give your channel a shout out, mate.
It's a Three Hammers. Been a channel for a long time. You know, we do all the same stuff.
The Three Hammers 3, isn't it?
Yeah, the Three Hammers. Check us out if you like it. You like it. If you don't, you don't. Until then, come as you were.
It's a good watch.
You will like it. I've been
Cheers,
a
Luke.
subscriber since like near enough day one with him. They're a fantastic channel.
You are such an arse licker, Mick. Right, hang on.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I think I was a subscriber before you.
Yeah, sign me queue for me, yeah?
If anyone could not, any fans don't fucking go and follow Free Hammers. They're arseholes.
Right.
Cheers, boys. Love you.
See you later, mate. Ta-da. Right, so we've got Ben Johnson, we've got Antonio, Cresswell. I've got too many. Oh, and Alvarez. Oh, what about Emerson? I can only put 4 in there.
Hit the love button. Yeah, hit the love button.
I'm gonna put Emerson in there. Hang on. Emerson. Who else? Come on quickly. I want to get this done so we can move on. Cresswell
Where are we? I thought we finished half hour ago. What are we doing?
How about Alvarez? Alvarez is on the 7.
Yeah.
Hang on. Cresswell. Oh fuck! I'm gonna miss someone. Cresswell. And I've done it. I'll do Alvarez. That's it. That's all you got to choose from. That's all I can fit in there. Start poll. Here we go.
Emerson and John and Micky. Emerson man of the match for some. John Emerson man of the match.
Yeah.
VAR man of the match.
Go on, the poll's in there now, and I think
VAR man of the match.
Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson's.
I think is he really? A lot of people were saying that.
It's going Emerson, I think. Oh no,
Emerson,
Ben Johnson. Oh, very close.
Alvarez, Kez says Alvarez.
He's quite funny how he divides opinion, Johnson, because he does, right? There's a lot of people yesterday who saw that game and thought he's crap, right? And there's others who watched it like me and thought he's done bloody well.
Do you know what? Right? Do you know what disappoints me about people like Micky though, Gary?
What's that?
And that is he'll mug Moyes off and call him a cunt, right?
Yeah.
But then he won't factor that in to the fact that players like Ben Rama, Fornals and Johnson have suffered at the hands of Moyes.
That's very true. That's very true. Micky should consider that.
Micky should consider, and he doesn't. He doesn't consider that at all.
Are you two little fucking gaslighters? You did it. I said that he's a good squad player, and I'd like it, but I don't think he's a starter for us.
What are you basing that on, though? His time under Moyes, yeah?
Yeah, but you are as well. You're only basing his time under Moyes, so go and fuck yourselves, that cunt.
He's got little man syndrome, people. That's what he's got.
Yeah, you got fucking fat man syndrome. You can't stop eating. You can't stop fucking eating.
All right, tonight, look, I've got the old M&Ms out.
I don't know why my mug has moved.
What's that?
Yes, I don't know why my mug has moved. Like tea back in, Moyes out. There you go. It's like I don't want it to be. I moved it off the desk.
Micky, did you order one of them little sponge foot pads? Because I know you stand up at the table when we're doing these shows, and you said your feet were hurting. Did you get one of them little foam pads? Did you get? You little midget cunt!
You fucking Philip Schofield looking fuck.
Philip Schofield, look. Can you are we finished with the player ratings? Because we've been doing it for about an hour.
Yeah, no, it's Emerson. Right, okay.
Right, Emerson man of the match. Congratulations, Emerson.
Yeah, actually, look, there we go. There's a question for you, Nick.
Go on.
How do I buy a mug? You go to the Kent.
Oh, no, you can't. You can't even search it up. It's a secret squirrel.
Oh, really?
Tell you what I'll do. In the description of this show, the mugs are for sale now. There is a limited number of them, so we'll obviously reorder them. We'll replenish them when they run down. But you've got a coffee in, Moyes out. You've got a tea bag in, Moyes out. There's a plain claret and booze one, and there's my favourite, which is the Cup of Di Canio one.
Yeah, but
that one's on.
But you're not doing the logistics now. No, you're not sending the stuff out anymore, are you? Because that was a disaster, frankly.
No, I can't do it. I'm useless. Useless. So also these people that they'll send overseas. So fuck knows what the post and package is, but somebody's ordered one for Australia. They do the EU. They do.
Nice.
They do the US as well. So, like I say, I will put the link in there after. I might do it later on in the show. I'll pin it in the chat. And
they might arrive this time.
They will. Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
And I have, I've ordered another batch here. So I'm the one that's going to be tasked with sending out people's mugs who didn't get them before.
Oh, no. Good luck with that, people.
So I've got another batch.
I feel like I was so lucky getting my mug when I did.
Right.
I've still got John's here.
Oh,
he only lives around the corner.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Kez, my missus has got yours, so you'll definitely get it. She's taking it to work with her tomorrow, so she's going to send it out tomorrow. There you go. Kez won. We run a win a mug competition. Yeah, what was it? Guess the score and guess the first goal scorer, isn't it?
Oh right, yeah.
And I can't think who you have. Who did you have?
Me.
Paqueta. She had Paqueta and 2-1. Yeah, Paqueta and 2-1. Yeah. Okay, right, Gary. Look ahead to.
I'm just put a fucking nicotine chewing gum in my mouth.
Look ahead to Leverkusen.
Right. Okay. Let me take the chewing gum out.
Yeah,
that's a wasted chewing gum now. Right. Right. Let me.
These
okay.
boys in there. Fuck off, John. And get on the show, you dick. Come on.
Yeah, get on, John. What's the matter? Yeah. Right. There's a big space that could fit. It could fit your head. It could fit your head down the bottom alongside Nick. Be a bit congested with both of you there, but there you go. Right. Okay, Leverkusen, right. Now, Leverkusen, first of all, if you don't know where it is, near Cologne, and it's also near Dusseldorf. It's kind of really close to both. So they're going to have fun over there. Fucking hell, it's going to be quite amazing. I think that, and the Cologne fans a little bit trouble. I think they might be.
Apparently so, yeah.
Now, what have they done? Leverkusen, they're a new club. They only came around in 1979, right? They're relatively new, but they've been in the Bundesliga top flight all that time, and they've won the UEFA Cup, Europa League before, and they've been to a Champions League final. They've never won the German league, but they're going to correct that next Saturday when they beat Werder Bremen. They're only 2 points off, right? With 6 games to go. Yeah. They've won the last 5 games. They've done it by using their squad as well. They do it and carry a bag. They played in the last round. A lot of people have said, don't be sucked into this, right? Because a lot of people have said, carry a bag went at them and they scored and they opened up. Well, if you look at the team that he put out with carry bag, he really used his squad, Alonso. Let me put it like that. It was a second choice, sometimes third choice defense that he had out there, right? The other players, he seems to have a couple of players in each position and they're all good. We're a Premier League side with a squad, according to Transfer Market, worth 446 million. Their one's worth 594.
But it wasn't before he joined.
No, they've spent on average 10 million euros each year above what they've taken in for. So they've spent net 10 million euros each year for the last 3 seasons, and they've ended up with a fucking squad worth that because some of the players, one of the ones that's come through is called. I'll get to him in a minute. His name is Wirtz, Florian Wirtz, right?
He's
very
amazing.
good player.
Amazing.
He's worth apparently 110 million euros. He's a graduate from the Leverkusen.
Gary, if Paqueta goes, that's we've got to get him in, and he's left-sided as well. It'd be amazing.
We won't be paying 110 million for anyone.
Paqueta, we've got to go and get. Well, Starting could sort out a little deal, can't he? Sort out a little deal for him, little discount.
So Wirtz is a right-sided attacking player, but there's so many. They've got Frimpong on the right as well, haven't they? And another one as well. It's amazing. They've got an average age of just under 25. They're a young side. They're mainly internationals, seasoned internationals already, and worth nearly 600 million euros. It's fucking amazing. For the friendly, we had Souček and Downs in midfield, right? So you can't really read anything into the friendly. Frimpong, Tar, Xhaka, Hoffman, Wirtz, Adli, and Boniface played most of the game in that friendly. Boniface has just come back from injury a couple of games ago. He came on 67th minute yesterday in their win, and someone else did as well. So he's been resting players and using his squad. And he's used his squad. He really has. Boniface has scored 10 goals, but he's been out for 3 months, 7 assists.
It has to be said, Gary. Sorry to interrupt. The reason he was rotating quite heavily in the Europa is because he's been prioritising the Bundesliga. Yes,
and now that's done, he will prioritise the Europa, right?
Yeah.
He got away with it. Now Frimpong, midfield, 8 goals, 7 assists. Grimaldo, 9 goals, 11 assists. Hoffman, 5 goals, 6 assists. Teller.
Just saying, Grimaldo is a player that John did a player rate, did a player review on back when we used to do our detailed transfer shows.
It's fucking quality.
He went and got. John said, "Go and sign Grimaldo." We didn't. He went to Leverkusen. See.
Yeah, and then up front you got Boniface, who was on fire before he got injured. Right, he's been out for 3 months. A couple of games back, 20 minutes yesterday. Wirtz, who's incredible, and then you got Schick, the Czech guy, who's been playing a fair bit lately, actually. But yeah, he plays a mixture of 3-4-2-1 and 3-4-3, right? If you look at the way they play, 64% almost possession on average, and this is in the Bundesliga, right? They've scored 69, conceded. They've scored 69 and conceded 18, right? 59 goals inside the box, 8 outside. They short, fast, accurate passing. That's what they do. 18 long balls all season they've played. They don't play long balls, right? They're outstanding. They're outstanding. If you look at the way they're balanced as well as a side, they're almost a mirror image on the left and right. They're just as successful down both sides, right? And the amount of ball that they see on either flank is identical, right? Yeah. They are so balanced. When you look at the shots on goal, absolutely equal from either side as well as in the middle, right? They're such a symmetrical kind of outfit. They seem to be powerful and strong. And what they do is they play this three at the back. They play the wing backs in front of them, and then they've got, you know, effectively they would have the wing back and another fucking rapid player in front of them, right? They
do overlapping and underlapping. You don't know what they're going to do. It's fucking insane. The way they attack. You
can't shut them down if they put their full team out, which I imagine they will this time, right? They haven't done that for a few games. The last game was about 5 games ago. They put their full team out and they did it a few games running, right? The thing is, you can't shut them down by stopping them on the right or stopping them on the left or stopping them in the middle. They're just fucking fluid, right?
Yeah,
they're fluid. And yeah, I hope he does make some changes and plays a slightly weakened team, because I'd hate to play against the full strength. The last time I played the full strength team, it dumped Fortuna 4-0. Right.
Yeah.
They're just, it's just an embarrassing set of stats against Fortuna.
They in 28 Bundesliga games, they have conceded 19 goals.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
That's all they've conceded.
And fantastic, isn't it?
Oh, look, and the passing accuracy is amazing. Granit Xhaka, 92% accuracy. Palacios, 92% accuracy. Jonathan Tah, the defender, 95% accuracy. Right. It is, you know, that's across the team, right? They've got stats like that, 90 plus, right? They're not sloppy.
So the question is, Gary, right? When David Moyes goes to Leverkusen and becomes the first manager to beat Alonso and to break his record with a 12% possession stat, what do you think that means for David Moyes? Does that prove and cement David Moyes in greatness for West Ham?
Well, no, it doesn't. But what you would have to give him credit if he did that, right?
Of course you would,
because you know they are expecting us to give them the ball and sit back, because that's what every team does against him, right? Every team tries to hit them on the counter attack. They don't play counter attack at all, because they spend most of the time up the front of the pitch or in the middle, right? They're 20% of the time only are in their own back third. And so, you know, that I would suggest, you know, it makes sense to me that if they're being that dominant over teams and pushing them back all the time, you know, surely what we should do is not just be the next team to do that and sit back and let them do what they want to do. And we've got such class up front. Surely they could hurt Leverkusen.
Look. At the end of the day, what Leverkusen will do, because they trust the process. Leverkusen trust that the way that they play will win them games. They don't concern themselves too much. Even though they've only conceded 19 goals, that is in the Bundesliga. You can get at them. You can score against them, but they don't care. They trust.
They don't lose it. They don't lose it.
No. So, but what that means is that they will leave space to exploit. They will, because of the way that they play. You've got to be brave in a game like this, because I think it's been proven. I think Alonso has proven. Everyone has gone at Leverkusen to try and low block their way to some kind of result. It hasn't fucking worked. So try something different would be my suggestion.
I'd say as well. What do you think? Well, welcome, Leo.
Right, Leo. That's working. Right, Leo. What I wanted to say to you, as you've joined as a YouTube member, and that goes for anyone new or any existing members that are members. If you go to the community page in YouTube, you'll see a members only post, and there is a different type of link in there to get you over to. Do you have to manually click it, Gary?
Yeah.
Your thumbs don't work today. Go on, try and do it with your thumbs again. Go on, Gary.
Go. No, he just clicked it and then put his thumbs up after.
So yes. So go and have a look at that. It's a different link for YouTube members at the moment. So right, okay. We'll start taking. I'll tell you, I'm going to try and spring it on. Let's see if he picks up. 1 second.
I just feel like they're the complete team from back to front, Leverkusen. I hope they have an off night.
See if he picks up. Putting him on the spot.
Come on, whoever you are.
Pick up the phone.
Cam, you can't join and then not answer the phone, Leo.
Come on. Who was it?
He's not having it. I was trying to phone John, get John in, but there you go.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. John. Right. Okay. So the lines are now open. I'm not going to put the number up just yet. So any regulars that have already got my number who want to phone in, please do.
And Trodge.
Now is your chance.
Where's Trodge's comment? This is what I'm hoping, Trodge. If I big them up, you know what I mean?
Look,
I've got to stop myself fucking saying that we're going to go over there and win, right?
This is football. We can win.
It's still a sport, yeah.
We can win. We can. It can happen.
Yeah.
The only thing that concerns me is a 2-leg thing because I just feel like. Oh, here we go.
Ray from Devon. It's Ray from Devon.
No. This is Jimbo from Cyprus.
Go on, Jimbo.
It's Jim. I just wanted to. How you doing?
You're
all looking wonderful tonight, as Eric Clapton once said.
Thank you very much.
Anyway,
how are you, Jim?
What I wanted to say, I'm really good. Right? I'm pissed off, to be honest. I'm good, but I'm pissed off with that fucking noise. Anyway, right?
Yes,
I
that's
know
good.
everyone is. I know everyone is. We all feel the same, right? But I just wanted to. The reason I wanted to call in was something to do with Art of the Spurs game. You know when you done your show Art of the Spurs game, Nick, right?
Yeah.
I was sitting there watching it, and there was it just fucking it. Like I've been saying this for ages. When you had your little tactics pitch up on the screen, and you pulled the two wingers back, and they then became what you would call defensive wingers, if you was in real terms, right?
Yeah.
They're defensive wingers sitting on the fucking toes of fullbacks. That's what they are, right? Defending the fullbacks before the opposition winger gets down the line, which don't fucking work because that Soufal, I mean, listen, I'm 52, I can run faster than him. You know, I know, in all seriousness, like, he's all right going forward, he's slow, his crossing's a bit crap. I'd have Johnson, I would have had Johnson in there all day long.
Yeah.
All day long, you know, but the way you did that is exactly how Moyes plays. Antonio, 30 yards in front of the midfield, but still in his own half.
Yeah.
Still inside his own half. He has to get the ball going over the top, hold it up, and he's still got 70 fucking yards to make it to get to the top of the pitch. It is an absolute joke. It is a tactical fucking disaster class, not masterclass. How we're winning games, I do not know.
It was that. What's on the screen now? So basically, just pulling it everyone, and that isn't taking the piss. That's how we play when you've got Antonio in the team. And then the idea is you bypass midfield because you do. Normally, it's a direct ball to Antonio. Antonio will hold it up. And then that gives the likes of whoever's on the wings to sort of get up and support them. But that's why it's so mental when it's. Do you know what I mean?
That what you've got there, that's exactly it. And when he put Bowen up there the other day, it just you're never going to do it. So what's Bowen? 5'8"?
Yeah.
He's about 5'8", and he's 5'7", 5'8", weighs about 10 stone. Yeah, what chance has he got against 14 stone, 6'2" defenders?
Exactly.
And you're lumping big long balls up.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
If he's got the ball, Jim, if you give Bowen the ball and he runs at players, then he'll terrorise those defenders. But you put him up against them, they'll ragdoll him, they'll bully him all day long.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what was happening, wasn't it? That is exactly what was happening. But here's the thing, like what you were saying with Leverkusen, we're going to go to Leverkusen, and there is no way. If we do anything, if we come away with a draw or anything less than a 3-0, it will be a miracle. But, he's going in low blocking against teams that you should go there when you've got players like Kudus, Paqueta, Bowen. You don't low block against like crappy teams. You go there and you have a go at them. You get on the front foot. You know, I was looking at Wolves the other day when we was playing Wolves. In fact, I messaged you at half time, right? And I was saying, you look at these substitutions or whatever it was, I can't even remember. But like, I was sitting there thinking, like, what the fuck? Why wouldn't you put more pace on at the beginning, like Johnson on the right? You know, why would you sit there and go and try and low block against Wolves, knowing that they're missing their best three players?
Jim, do you know what I think it was? I think it goes back to what Gary said a while ago, and that is that there's a political problem at West Ham, and David Moyes is desperate to win and prove that his way is the best. Yeah. Now, I think that going away to Wolves, a team that we've beat 3-0. Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Joan. A team that we've beat 3-0 already, and that was when they had their three forward players that were now missing. I think David Moyes saw this as the perfect opportunity to execute his Moyes ball plan and for it to win. I think that's literally what he thought, Gary. I think he thought it would work.
Absolutely, completely right, and that's why I'm so sure he's going to do it against Leverkusen, because what greater advert for it working than beating Leverkusen, or at least limiting the damage against Leverkusen, right? I mean,
I don't know what stream you used or what TV station you guys were watching, but over here it was on some like Chinese channel, right? Yeah. With English commentary. Yeah. And even on them channels, right, the commentators, I swear to God, they kiss Moyes' ass.
Oh, constantly.
Like, they praise him to death, and you sit there and you go, now when things start going wrong, they turn around, they're looking to blame the players. But when the players are looking round on the pitch like what Paqueta did, and he's like looking over at the bench like saying, what are you doing? Yeah. Why are we doing this? But I just want to, like, one quick thing. I just want to make a point. I know you spoke about Sullivan, right? Yeah. But this is how much trust that the West Ham fans should have in David Sullivan. Now, Gary already made the point earlier, he was a pawn baron and da-da-da. All true. But what you all omitted to say was he was the man who paid the reporter to tell you that Elvis was seen in quick save in Weymouth.
That's true.
In about 1989.
That's true. Big news.
Is that true?
Big news as it arrived. Yeah. Elvis found on the moon and stuff like that. It was all that shit. All that shit was on the front page of a Daily Sport, wasn't it? Sunday Sport. Yeah.
And it was all factual. I'm telling you.
He's a dodgy company. He just is.
He plays to the lowest common denominator.
Yeah. He's as slippery as an eel in a bowl of snot. That's what he is. And that's the truth. Listen, people like him, like David Sullivan, they're leeches. They're leeches on the soul of decent human beings who fucking go to work every day and pay their money, and all they want do is kick them in the bollocks for more and more and more. And they don't care about football. They don't care about West Ham. They don't care about the support.
Of course they don't. They're doing everything they can to take it away from the normal everyday person, the normal worker. They're trying to move the bar so that it's too expensive, price people out. That's pretty much what they've done at Tottenham. They've got a completely different crowd now. And pretty much what they've done at Arsenal as well, apart from a few that have hung on. They're a new fan base. And I think that's what they want for us as well.
But you know what that does, right? I mean, if you think it's bad now, I mean, look, fair enough. What they'll do is they'll eventually, if it carried on this way, if they played this way, let's say for another 5 seasons, this is how the football played out. All of us, Gary, you'd give it up in the end. You would. You go, I can't do that.
Honestly, if this kind of like this season has been terrible. I'm not exaggerating, been awful, right? And there've been some games where honestly, I spent more time talking to Paul and the people around me than I did watching the game, because the game's just been crap. The epitome of shit this season was the Sheffield United at home. We were 2-0 up at half time. They've just been dumped, 7-8-0 at home the previous week by Newcastle. And then we're thinking, right, we're going to come out, go for it, 5-6, because they were crap, right? We came out second half, spent 45 minutes passing the ball sideways. It was fucking atrocious, right? And that is basically the template. That's the Moyes template.
And what I'm saying is, so you're a lifelong West Ham fan. You're ridiculously loyal.
I couldn't take it for too many years.
No,
Nick. I couldn't take it for too many years.
But what I'm saying is, but you're a loyal West Ham fan, and what they're trying, what this will do, eventually, is they will flush out. If it was like this long enough, they will flush out enough West Ham fans, true loyal West Ham fans, and replace them with people that buy into the dream, that buy into the big prices, but they're not necessarily loyal. They're not lifelong West Ham fans. They're kind of almost like a new breed. But then what happens is you get your Tottenham fan, right, who are paying $2-3 grand a year for a fucking season ticket. And then do you know something? These people expect some fucking return for their money.
They do, if
they don't get return for their money,
they'll have an empty stadium.
They won't just moan. They won't renew next year.
That's right.
They won't, because there's no loyalty there. If you don't give them return for their money,
you get relegated. You ain't going to have any fucking fans.
No.
Right?
No.
Look what happened when we got relegated several times. Fans stayed there.
Yeah. Go on, Jim.
You know the sad thing. When we was all at Upton Park, listen, I ain't been in England for 10 years, right? And I miss it, but I used to love the days of the South Bank and, you know, the North Bank. I was born under the North Bank, all that. Like, it was, the atmosphere in West Ham was, you couldn't fucking beat it. It was the best place. I used to go with all my mates on a Saturday, and we used to go there as teenagers. And, you know, you sing it like, it was just different. It was different class.
I used to love the North Bank.
I look at that stadium.
Yeah.
I look at that stadium, and it's absolute dead. You know, you get the odd little... They're having to play bubbles twice before the games. You know, right? I wrote on someone's comments the other day. It might have been in Hammers chat, right?
Yeah.
And I said that Moyes, in my opinion, in my 46 years of supporting West Ham, that Moyes has been the worst manager that we've ever had. And some bloke come back at me, he's going, "What about Rhoda? What about Avram Grant?" And I said, this brand of football is way worse than anything they did. And you know something? I'll tell you, this is a true story. Right? I used to live in Harold Wood, and I used to work for a cab firm, right, in Gideon Park. We used to take Joe Cole and Michael Carrick, before they had their driving licences, we used to take them to Rush Green every day. And every now and then you'd take Redknapp, right? Anyway, I picked Redknapp up when he was selling his apartment in Parkstone Avenue, Emerson Park, right? He had a little apartment at the end. Beautiful, like expensive. You know, anyway, I picked him up, and he just... he left by mutual consent, didn't he, with Terry Brown because of whatever. And I said to him, you brought Glenn Rhoda to the club as a coach, Harry. Like, what's he like? He said, do you know what he said to me he said, we just used to let him put the cones out.
Yeah, that's
what he said to me. We just used to let...
The thing is, though, everyone knows the story about... Well, I found out the other night, not everyone knows it, the story of him and Billy Bonds. And look, they've never come out. It's never come out and been confirmed, but everyone knows what happened. He nicked Billy Bonds' job.
It was no hand horrible thing, wasn't it?
And so for him to get fucked over, perceived to get fucked over by Rhoda, is not really a bad thing. And you got to remember, Harry Redknapp, in his pomp towards the end as well, he was buying cheap. There was some dodgy dealings going on there because he was buying some shit, didn't he? Yeah. I mean,
go on, listen. I'll roll a few off you quickly. Rigobert song.
Yeah.
LeBanc.
Who's the one that was about? Who's the one that was about 50? He had a fake birth certificate from the bald-headed one from Liverpool.
Camera.
Camera. TT Camera. Yeah.
How about the one that Troy?
He did.
Shopping. He went shopping, didn't he?
Yeah, Troy. Don't you remember the headline in the Sun? He's not worth a florin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because he... Yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, but I was going to say, to back up, because obviously, look, there's a few people that don't agree with Moyes being the worst manager we've had. Look, he might not be the very worst manager, right? Not the very worst that we've had. Like there has been Avram Grant. There's been people like that. But you know something? When you do look at what we've got, people don't realise this. People get blinded by results over everything else. They don't look at the other fucking circumstances. I think a great manager will be laying foundations and will be enhancing every area of the club, not just to suit their own fucking needs, not just the 3 points at the end of the week. The man has. It doesn't matter what you want to think. He's been here for 4 years. He spent £500 million. We've got the smallest squad and we've got the oldest squad. And the amount of players, if you go through that squad now, I implore anyone that kind of doesn't agree with this, go through, have a little look at our current squad and tell me which players are going to be here next year. That's David Moyes' legacy. A complete and utter fucking rebuild. Because that is what you're always going to get with him. The guy alienates people. He blocks fucking youth players. He kills fans with his brand of football. And yes, fair enough, we're in a situation now where we've had a sustained period in Europe. But the fact of the matter is, the only reason we've had a sustained period in Europe now is because Europe dropped down to 7th. We've finished 7th loads of times. We have done throughout time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We've finished 7th loads in our history. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've finished 5th under Redknapp. This ain't new. This isn't next level. What David Moyes has done to us.
He's knocked off of players.
Yeah, but not Nigel
made
this.
He's not value off of them because
he has done.
If you don't buy into this all sit back and block system, so flair players do not get any chance in his teams. Yeah. He will have you sit back and just be like dustbins.
Unless you're truly world class and you can't be stifled like Piquet, you're fucked. Yeah. It's as simple as that. And
exactly.
Yeah.
I will say one thing about Harry Redknapp, right? Harry Redknapp is, because I did like him as a man.
Gary,
you're right there. That's a great place for a phrase.
Great signings. We never would have seen Canio or anyone without him, right?
Your face froze.
You froze. Like nothing's happened.
You froze. Go on, you have to remake your point. You froze.
Did I?
How
can I freeze? I've got the fastest broadband in the world.
You've got shitty broadband.
Your internet is shit.
It's fucking 2 gig up, 2 gig down.
Yeah, but obviously it's not very good.
It's magnificent. Right. The one thing I'll say about Redknapp, right, is that I loved watching his teams. We never would have seen some real legends that he signed without Redknapp. He had the gift of the gab. He could get those players in, right? The players loved him. The players loved playing for him, right? He'd put their arm around them. Apart from when you're out of favour, apparently they hated him after that, right? So it was a bit of a... But the style of football, I would love to see Redknapp given this group of players. Wouldn't you?
Cool, yeah. Imagine the attack.
Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, could you imagine? Could you imagine it? It would be so
scoring
delicious.
Hatfuls,
it would be fucking delicious.
We'd be tearing teams a new one, wouldn't we?
It would be ridiculous. It would be.
Yeah.
I don't believe that, Emma. Time.
What's that?
The players seem to love Moyes.
Yeah, look. At the end of the day, right? This
the ones getting picked up.
No. Look. This is very simple. The players come out after they get the same treatment as David Moyes. They get a mic shoved in their face. Would you ever mug your boss off?
No, you can't. You can't. So I wouldn't expect him to do it.
When you ask a player, what do you think of your manager, and he's sitting next to you, like, oh, I think he's a bit of a cunt. To be quite honest, he's useless. You'll never play again, will you? Oh, hello, fun. No. So right. That coming and taking players' fucking comments. Players' comments is ridiculous, honestly. Because
I think it is. Was it you, Gal, who turned around and said, I'm sure it was in your show the other day, the guy who does the after-match commentary, he's like the preloaded questions that they already know the answer to, and that guy does exactly the same thing with the players. And don't forget, they're all media trained these days. Years ago, they weren't media trained. Like Roy Keane and people like that just used to come out and speak their mind. The likes of Dixie would have spoke their mind. Yeah. On it, like they're honest. But nowadays, like look at Declan Rice. Declan Rice, he was like warm butter on bread. You put him in front of the camera, he'd tell you exactly what you want to hear.
Oh, he said the right things.
He's PR trained to death.
When did he call him that? When did Emerson call Moyes a father figure? That was Paqueta, and that weren't fucking true.
Yeah, that was true.
That was Paqueta, and that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
It's bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Listen,
sorry, mate.
Guys, thank you. Thank you for letting me ring in. I want to I'll let you give other people. I had to mention that tactics map, Nick, because when I was looking at it the other night, I was like, he's fucking nailed it. He's absolutely nailed it. That is what it is. We're playing defensive wingers.
It's so frustrating. You know, it's just, and why? Why are we doing it? It drives you mad.
Yeah. With the talent that you've got in that team, you know, you've got 3 very attacking players. You know, you should have let them play. I mean,
sorry to interrupt, Jim. He complained. If you listen to one of the post-match interviews that he gave, where he was criticised for the amount of goals that we've been leaking, and he basically said it's because we've got a few attacking players that we just have to afford a bit of license, like it's a fucking problem. So basically, what he's got is right. He's got Lucas Paqueta, Kudus, Bowen, and Antonio, who he can't fucking drop. He can't drop them. They have to be in that team. But he's so rather than trying to, but rather than adapt and try and change the way that he's playing, that's why he didn't want a left winger in January, because he thought, his idea in his head, Phillips, I'm getting Phillips. I'm going to have a midfield of Souček, James Ward-Prowse, and Phillips. He didn't even want Alvarez in there. He thought Phillips was going to come in and be amazing. He has got a problem with Alvarez. You've heard it in his post-match interviews. He's come out and criticised the guy. That is probably one of the main reasons why we are where we are, because he's held that midfield together. But because of the yellow cards and everything else, he threw him under the bus.
He's the only one who can tackle and pass. Have a look at the passes that Souček makes. He can't make a 5-yard. Listen, find me a professional footballer from League 2 and above who can't make a 5-yard pass. He can't do it. He passes the ball out of play.
I mean,
it's incredible.
I mean, what I will say, right? I can imagine the level of training at West Ham under David Moyes. I can imagine what it is, and it's all about preparation, shape, defensive shit. There's no passages of play. You'll never see West Ham make a passage of play. You'll see individual brilliance. There'll be moments. You'll see moments of magic where Paqueta will pull the ball down and he'll whip a lovely ball into Kudus. He'll trap it, bring it in, and he'll curl it in. That's not coached. You'll never see anything from the way that we play that comes from the training ground. If you watch Leverkusen this year and you watch the way that they play, that comes from the fucking training ground. The only thing that comes from our training ground is where they fucking stand like statues to make it difficult for the opposition to play through. And that is it. And then it's about getting the ball forward as quickly as you can.
Like, do you remember the game Space Invaders?
Yeah.
It's like Space Invaders, where you got one little ship at the bottom and all the Space Invaders just go from left to right. That's exactly
that is right. That is right.
Yeah. Space Invader football.
Because mental.
You know when he got most criticism, I made this point in the show the other day, and even his favourite journos turned on him, was when he was reaching the end at Man United, right? And there were loads of exposés about what he was getting up to at Man United. And what they said the players are just fucking bored with the relentless zonal drills that they have to do, preparing for the opposition, you know, keeping players in their zone, making sure that they're they're not straying. They're not straying outside of that little box that they've been assigned to, right? They do it religiously over and over and over. Nicky's absolutely right. There is nothing when it comes to making a chance up the top of the pitch other than set pieces.
You know what it is, Gal? He doesn't play football. He plays chase.
Yeah.
So there ain't a forward player who's ever played for Moyes who's going to get beyond. Like our Antonio's still going is a miracle because he runs the legs off them. All they do is chase, and they're chasing nothing because you've got Antonio with 4 defenders, 2 centre halves, a left back and a right back, who just pass the ball between them, and you just see him. It's like doing doggies in training, right? And all you're doing is chasing. They can just pass it round you all day long. And every now and then, Bowen will join the press, Kudus will join the press. There's no, like, when you press, you have to press as a unit, as a unit, and then you close the ball down.
Yeah, you can't. Otherwise, you're running for the ball, and there's passing lines. The idea of pressing is one goes to the ball and the other one cuts the passing lines off. That's how you press. So that there's no options. You suffocate.
Exactly.
You suffocate the opposition. That's the idea of pressing, not sticking one player up against
One
three.
question I want to ask one question before I go. Have any of you noticed? And I'm sure you have, because I know you've been to the games and that. But even on the TV, there's been times I've noticed that players in the centre of midfield, whether it be Souček, James Ward-Prowse, they want to go forward. They want to go forward.
Yeah, they turn around.
They kind of freeze and go, "Oh shit! I don't want to be out of me position, because if I go too far, I've got to make it back to be part of the shape to defend." And they look like they're scared to go forward. I was just wondering whether anyone else noticed that, or whether I was hallucinating. I've done a lot of mushrooms when I was younger, so I was just wondering.
No, it's true though. It's true. What they do, you see it with Kudus more than anyone. He goes to go forward, he turns round. Yeah, he does it quite a lot.
Because they are told and drilled before the game where they need to stand. Because and that is why you will never see any patterns of play from a typical Moyes team, because for there to be any patterns of play, the fundamentals of that is to pass and move. Yeah. We don't pass and move; it's pass and stand. Yeah. So there's never
pass and stand.
Pass and stand. Yeah, pass and stand. You know, it's demented. It really is. But anyway, Jimbo.
Listen,
cheers, Jim.
When you go on, listen, I'll let you go. Thank you for letting me ring in, guys. I love you all.
It's lovely chatting to you. Lovely chatting to you.
Jim, say hello to the missus for me, won't you?
She's over there. Dead Micky says hello. She said she'd get her tits out, Mick, but she ain't ready to do. Listen, take care, guys. Thank you.
You're going to get a right-hander, Jim, when you get off the phone.
See you later, guys.
See you later.
I'm going to get one now.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See you later.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
No, mate.
Bye.
Thanks, Gary.
Cheers, Gary. Pew, pew.
Pew.
There you go.
Gary's taking over the pew.
That's good. That's good.
I ain't doing
That's good.
No,
I'll do the pews.
you do the pews.
Don't you take my pews.
I'll tell you what,
I can't do the fireworks. Good night.
Jim Bolt saying good to us there. Space Invader football.
That is fucking bang on.
Yeah,
bang on.
Right, here's Gary, who's basically I'm gonna forecast that Gary is now flip flops and he's Moyes in again.
He's Moyes in again.
Right, so Gary.
Hello, lads. How are you?
I'm very well, mate.
Gary.
How are you?
Hello, mate. Yeah. Just want to talk about the game on Thursday night, about Leverkusen. I was listening to Gary talking earlier about their strengths.
Yep.
And I know that I think the key to this game is I've heard some people say just go out and attack them. You can't do that. But obviously, you don't want to be like sitting back for 90 minutes either. But the key is going to be their two wing backs really push on. They really do. Now, if Bowen's fit, and I hope he is, and we've got Kudus, that's going to be the thing. Is there could be spaces there to exploit, and because obviously they against several teams recently they are conceding goals, but they're still winning games. But obviously, so that's going to be the key for me. I mean, we can't go silly out there. I mean, Brighton did that. Disabi went out to Rome and it got done 4-0. And your game's over for the second leg's over.
They don't batter anyone, Gary. Gary, they don't batter anyone. No. I mean, one they beat 4-0 the other week, but usually it's like 2, right? A couple of goals. I think a 2-0 defeat would be all right to bring it back to the London Stadium. So? Yeah, it'd be tough, but
I think
we can beat them.
I think probably Freiburg, we beat 5-0. I mean, they lost 3-2 to them. So, and the carrier bag, and they had to go at them as well. So, obviously, you've got to compare the German league to the Premier League as well. That's the
different teams, though, Gary. Gary, different selections. I looked earlier. Against Carrier Bag, they played like a second or third choice defence, right? It was and different midfield, different forwards, right? So it was. I think they've got somebody called Iglesias, right? Not Julio Iglesias, but they've got a striker called Iglesias. He's a 31-year-old Spaniard. Whenever he plays, that means it's a substandard. It's not their first team, right? And he played against Carrier Bag twice.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't know what Nick thinks about this, but with our formation on Thursday, if Bowen's fit, great. Because obviously what I'd like to see is Bowen and Kudus either side of Antonio, and then you could play Paqueta in a deeper role alongside Souček. maybe put more prowess in the team. We haven't got Alvarez, have we? So we've got no choice, have we?
That's the worry, Gary, for me. That's the worry. We've got no Alvarez,
but,
you know.
The other option is if Bowen doesn't play, how do you feel about playing wing backs with maybe Johnson on one side and Emerson on the other? I mean, playing, you know, just
it won't be wing backs. He's going to play a back five, Gary. I think that's coming. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is that they still can get forward if they can get push on to them. Because obviously, like I said, they're wing backs. It's going to be a fascinating game. Actually, I'm really excited about this game.
I just
want to get back to the second leg.
I'm shitting myself. I've got to be honest.
Most of their shots, Gary, most of their shots come from the centre of the pitch, right? And when you look at what happens, and if we're playing the three centre halves that we would play would be Cresswell, Zuma, and Dinos, and their players are fucking lightning. So if they get in amongst them, I think we might have a bit of a problem.
Is what's his name? Aguerd. Is he fit now?
Oh, there's a fallout.
I've seen him for the last time.
He's seen him for the last time. There's a fallout. You won't be seeing him again. They're talking about his shoulder. That's bollocks, mate. He ain't going to be playing again.
Yeah. What Gary just said about pace. That's one thing Aguerd's got. He has got pace.
He does.
And he could play. If he played three centre backs, he could play him, Zuma, and
I've said it before. I think Aguerd would be perfect to play at CDM when Alvarez ain't there. He's got all the tools. All the tools.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Another thing as well, Ben Johnson. I mean, I know Micky's not keen on him. I like Ben Johnson a lot. And I think if he was given a run, he's been moved about right back, left back, midfield, centre back. I think for the club not to sign him, when you think how much cover he gives you, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. You can't, English player as well. He doesn't want like a fortune. So what you think some of the players what they're paying out wages, and when he's come on recently, he's looked pretty good, hasn't he?
I don't think Gary's making excuses for Moyes today. What you reviewed the game yesterday, Gary? What did you think?
Yeah, he's not making excuses. He ain't done that.
No,
I just think, listen, this time of the season, it's all about results now, isn't it? Let's be honest about it. We've got 6-7 games. The results are starting to go our way. Chelsea drew today. I thought they might. Man United have only drew. So these games in hand have got on us. They've been whittled down a bit. Newcastle got Tottenham next week. We can beat Fulham on Sunday. We've got, we could be in sixth place.
I don't see any way on earth that we finish the season in sixth, but we could finish seventh or eighth.
You can't. I mean, Man United dropped. I mean, 3 games running there. They've let goals in. They're just like Brentford. They let a goal in, stop his tummy. Lost at Chelsea the other night. They've drawn today. That's 3 times they've been in the lead. I mean, we're only 1 point behind them. But I'm not saying we're going to finish sixth. I'm saying we've got a chance. We're only a point behind them. So
I don't know that, Gary. Gary, the
only thing worries me. The only thing worries me is this reminds me of so much. I'm sure Gary said last week. This reminds me of a few seasons ago when we got to the semi-final and he playing the same players all the time. I'm just worried. You think they play Saturday, Tuesday, and Saturday.
Let me just interrupt you just very quickly. So talking about the players, the teams are in and around us. Don't worry about the one above us, Man United, because it's all about protecting our position. So Newcastle, they play at home to Tottenham. They play away to Palace. They play at home to Sheffield United. They play Burnley. They play Brighton. They play Brentford. They're going to get more points than us in the tail end of the season because our running is our running's harrowing, Gary. It is our running. Let me tell you now in the league. So we have Fulham and Palace. Then you got Liverpool, Chelsea. You got Luton and Man City. So Luton, that on paper, you look at that and go, we should win that. They're fucking mustard at the moment. They're playing really well against teams. They're really having a go at them.
They're actually they're joint with Forest on 25 points.
Playing well.
So we're not going to have an easy ride. Let me just say, right? I think Gary, what you got to consider is what he does to players, and he does tend to overuse them, right? Let's say that.
Of course he does.
So he did drop Antonio yesterday. I don't think he'll be doing that again because it bit him in the arse, right? So what we got to do on Thursday, Leverkusen. Going to be a really tough, brutal game out there if we're chasing them around. 3 days later, we've got to play Fulham, right? Now we'll either be fucked if he plays all the same players. Fulham are not slow. They're a quick team, right? They are a bit tamer away from home, but we're going to be tired. We're going to have heavy legs. 4 days later, we play Leverkusen at home.
I thought they beat Newcastle.
Hang on.
I thought they beat Newcastle at home. It's so good at home for them, and they blew it.
But 4 days later, we got Leverkusen again. 3 days later, we got Palace. So even though on paper Fulham and Palace look like wins, right? It's going to be tough.
And what I'm saying is, you've got to look back to that Europa League season where we didn't invest in January, and if we had done, we'd have had the strength in depth to go towards the end of the season. But we didn't. We fell on our asses and we died. And that's what happened with the volume of. So how can you possibly think that isn't going to happen this season when we've only got 11 players, Gary?
Yeah, I know. It's what I just said to you. It reminds me of 2 seasons ago. It just reminds me of that. The January transfer window. I still can't forgive him for doing that. You know what it is with West Ham? I don't know with Sullivan. Surely it's about money in football. We've had this ample opportunities to get the Champions League spots. We had it a few seasons ago. We were hanging around 4th. Do you remember? Yeah. And it comes to the January window when you can push and get it. And like you said, Nick, this season, I think Villa will start falling away.
Can I tell you what the rationale is? I've spoken to Sean Whetstone about this a long time ago. I'm not saying this is from the horse's mouth, by the way. This was just his take. But his take was, if you get into the Champions League, you're then starting to pay Champions League wages, Champions League prices for players. You're then moving into a different sphere. So although you're making more money with your league position,
come back to Dodsies.
You then are in a different sphere, and that could well be why. I'm not being funny. I don't think there might be. I don't think we've got an appetite, or Sullivan might not have an appetite to finish in the top 4.
Let's come back to.
I know.
That's the thing. I know we want it.
Go on, let's
it's so frustrating though, because you look at our front three. I mean, it's about as good as it gets. Kudus, Paqueta, and Bowen. You've got Antonio in as well. Tony invest. If you wouldn't have got a left-sided player this year, another striker, so you can play Antonio sometimes, and maybe like you said, Nick, you could then play Kudus, Paqueta, and Alvarez in the 3 midfield players. That team. That can easily challenge top 4 easily.
Absolutely, all day long. Listen, I've already said it. I guarantee it. If we're lucky enough to have Paqueta next season, which we could do if his court case runs on, because no one will pay money for him with that lingering over him. That won't happen. So we might get him for another 6 months. Say Arne Slot comes in. That will be the middle 3. You will have Alvarez at the base. You'll have Paqueta in the 8. He would play there for Man City. He plays there for Brazil. And you would have Kudus in a 10 because he is a 10. And then you'd have Bowen out on the right wing. We'd have a proper fucking striker, and we would go out and get a proper left winger. How good would we be? Top that off.
I'll tell you another thing.
Top that off with getting a proper right back to go with Emerson. So we need like an Emerson on a right back, and maybe one more centre back. When you look at it like that, there isn't a massive amount of work that needs to be done.
No, it's not.
To the squad, it's keeping players, and then what you can do is you can go out and you can go and pad the squad out by buying. Well, no, do you know what? We're overlooking this. We know that Noble and Staunton are working very closely together. You can't tell me that Noble and Staunton haven't looked and identified players that may be able to step up to fill our homegrown quota. Players that could come up from that squad and we can go, right, we can promote them through.
Well, according to Potts and Keane, right, there are 5 to 6 players in that youth team who will be ready to progress.
There you go.
They need a path through this season coming up, right? So that's Mark Noble needs to open up that route, Gary.
Yeah. What I'm saying is frustrating. I mean, I've watched West Ham for years, like you have, Gal, and the rest of you. But when you look at the top 6, 7 in the Premier League now. You've got the top 3, which I think are pulled away a bit. Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, they're pulled away. Then you've got the 2 other spots. So you've got Aston Villa and Tottenham. Now, I don't think Villa are anything special. I think they've had a very good manager's come in. He's totally transformed them. But you look at player for player, and you think it's only the managers come in that's actually made them that good, So really, that top 4 spot, it's been there. It's been there for so many seasons. But we always seem to choke.
Hang on, Gary, 1 second. Sorry to interrupt. Right, the Tony deal. There's more to this than meets the eye. Tony is damaged goods. He's not the type of player, the type of profile that somebody is going to go. I know, look, Paqueta's different to Tony, right? But Tony was guilty. Tony was found guilty of many charges.
With his hands up, didn't he?
He's damaged goods. So we would absolutely have a chance of getting Ivan Toney. Brentford will never get the type of money that they're asking for him either. They're going to be looking at 50 or 60 million. That's it.
How old is he, by the way?
He's about 28, 27, 28.
29.
He's 29, yeah.
29. He's old.
Yeah.
He's not as young as people think.
But you get a good
5 years.
You get a good 3 to 5 years out of him. It'd be mustard. He would be. He's a good player.
I'll take him all day long. Of course, absolutely.
Brentford have improved massively since he's come back.
Yeah, if you had Tony up front, you had Bowen and could have feed off of him. You can imagine that'd be quite effective, actually.
Yeah.
But it'd be very good. Yeah, I just want to see West Ham. I just, when you see Arsenal, even like Declan Rice, he's left there. He said he wants to win things. They could well win the league this year. I'm not saying he will, but it's so frustrating because we've got some really good players there now. We're only a few players short of really going for it. I just don't want to see West Ham fall away.
Tony sponsored by Betway.
And by the way, just in case you didn't see my video from a couple of days ago, their actual words were, this is Keenan Potts, 2 legends of the club, right? Spoke to him for half an hour, and they were really, really honest and transparent, right? And what they said about these 5-6 players, because we spoke briefly about the others who had left, and gone chase the Moolah at Newcastle and various other places, right? And Keane just turned around to me and said, No, those were not top players. He said, these are top players. They're on another level.
Yeah. Absolutely, they are. What they've done for the last 2 years or 3 years with our youth academy, Kenny Brown, Kevin Keane, Steve Potts. Good night, John.
Night, John.
What they've done with that academy is amazing. And the last time we had a youth team this successful that went on and won that cup that they won and did what they did, that was a team where you had that was a time when we had the period we had Joey Cole, Frank Lampard and all that come through. There will absolutely be a handful of players in amongst that lot that will be good enough to come in and I'll tell you what, have one of them. Why the fuck would you not have one of them over the Yorkshire pudding? On
you've also got Potsy to come back as well, right? I didn't speak to him about his son, but he's doing brilliantly at Wickham.
He's getting player of the season. Apparently, they reckon he's going to be.
He runs like Declan Rice. He plays like Declan Rice.
Potts for them and Flynn Dans for Southampton. Player of the season for both their clubs.
Yeah. Connor is one of them, by the way, Ralph. He is one of them, but he's made a bad decision going on loan to West Brom because he ain't ready. Right, these players need to be drip fed into the first team, surrounded by first team players, like they're doing at fucking Chelsea. Not Chelsea, bad example, but like they're doing at Liverpool, like they're doing at most of the other top clubs. You know how many minutes, Gary, our teenagers have played this season? How many minutes? 74.
I know, Gal. You know what? Getting on this point. Last season, our team not only won the youth cup, we also won the league last year. Done a double, didn't we? Yeah. Beat Arsenal. Yeah. Now, the thing is, now you look at Liverpool, you look at Klopp, the players they're bringing in. Now, I don't know where Liverpool finished in the league last year, but someone told me we beat them 4-0. I don't know if that's true or not.
We did, but apparently we did. I saw that. Yeah.
But really, then you just imagine if you've got the right manager in, and I wonder if the next manager they bring in will be under the proviso that he plays the youth. It could be quite exciting, couldn't it? Especially if you've got Stighton there who can pick up these players like Kudus, Alvarez.
But this is the thing. This is what it goes back to, right? Sorry to always bring this back to Moyes, but when you've got people that defend him and say, "Oh, this is the best place we've ever been," it isn't the best place we've ever been. You've got to look at West Ham as a collective. There's so many facets of West Ham. You've got to look at what we've got there, the youth team. West Ham have to be run like a business. We have to buy players well and sell them well.
We have to make our own as well.
We've got to make our own. He is the worst possible man for that. The worst possible man for it. He is. Yeah. That's taking football out of it.
I agree.
He buys ready-made players.
I'm involved in the Moyes debate tonight because we spoke about so much, but. How excited are you about this game Thursday night, lads? I'm really excited.
I'm not excited. I'm shitting myself.
I'm really excited by it. I'm really excited by it.
No, what I mean is, we sit and think about it. If we could get to the semi-final, just think,
Yeah, I just don't want to see us.
No, what I'm worried about is it being killed in that first leg because anything more than 2 goals is dead.
Yeah,
it's dead.
I'll be honest with you. I'm expecting and anticipating the worst. So.
That's what I'm doing.
Other than
That's
that,
That's the way to look at it, Mickey. That's the way to look at it, right? Lower your expectations. Don't expect to beat them. You'll be maybe get surprised.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not looking to win.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that on purpose. I'm not thinking right. I'm gonna think like that. It's just literally how I feel. I expect the worst, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Anything other than bonus.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sorry, Gail. If he does, look, don't matter how he does that, right? if by some miracle, I don't care whether it's through luck or anything else, if he beats Leverkusen over 2 legs, he will deserve some credit for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
He will.
And
Absolutely.
all I want to do is get back.
No.
I mean, I want to get back to London Stadium, either a draw or a 1-goal defeat. I think we can do it. I think maybe we could do it because I think they're going to be a little bit worried about us as well. End of the day, they've seen some of the players they've got. They must have had us watched, mustn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Hang on, there's a good message here from James. Give your cousin a shout out, Mickey.
Oh yeah, my cousin Stevie Gill. She ran the landmark half London Marathon today for Mental Health UK, and she
flew over from Spain, didn't she?
She flew over from Spain. She lives out in Marbella. She flew over for that, and it was she was fantastic. I think there was something like 18,000. I can't remember females. She come 800. She
Bloody
was just,
hell, really?
Yeah,
that's really
fucking
impressive.
hell. That's
done it
good.
in a great time. She's fantastic. So yeah, thanks James for mentioning that. Good shout.
That's a better performance than my half marathons where I came in the last 10. I think it wasn't quite that bad. It wasn't quite
The only half marathon I had was the old
like
Snickers.
that.
That's the only half marathon I've ever done.
I was in the bottom quarter. Now I've done about 5 of them. I did when I was running. I did. I raced against Mo Farah up in the Great North Run. Yeah.
Not against him.
Same day.
Yeah, same day. Yeah.
Fucking kicked his ass, Micky. Kicked his ass.
Yeah, he'd already finished by the time you started. Basically,
he's a fucking piss taker. He runs fast all the way round on a half marathon.
He runs. He don't jog. He runs. Yeah.
Cheating bastard.
I was dying.
Go on, Gary. What's your prediction Thursday night, lads? What do you think?
You don't hear mine. I'll go with Gary. Go on.
I honestly think we're going to lose 2-0, and I will accept that. I think 1 or 2-0 is a good result to bring them back.
I think we can score out there, Gal.
What's your prediction then? Go on.
I think we might lose 2-1. 2-1.
That'd be a blinding result, Gary. That'd be an even better result.
Brilliant. Yeah. I know.
I really don't want to give my prediction here.
Yeah. Well, go on. I know you're going to say, Nick. You're going to say 3-1 to them.
No, I'm not. Go on, Mick.
Not worse.
Well, for me, I think. All right. I think 3-0.
I think.
So you don't see a scoring?
I think.
No.
I think that this game is where Xabi Alonso gets to really, really prove his stripes against a proper established fucking Premier League team. And we are a good Premier League team.
We are a good team.
He gets to prove his stripes. They will be coming out to kill us dead in that first game.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be fucking harrowing. I think we're looking at 4 or 5-0. I'll be honest.
No, they don't beat anyone 4 or 5-0. We'd have to really fuck up to get trounced 4 or 5-0.
But this is what I think will happen, Gary. I think that he's going to come out to steamroller us in that first leg because the second leg is at our place. I don't think he's going to want 1 or 2 goals.
There is that.
What you're saying in, Nick, really is he's worried if he comes back with a draw.
He will be worried.
He's worried about the second leg.
He will be worried. I think he's going to go out to try and kill us in the first leg.
Yeah. Alonso's got a load of European experience as well, by the way, with Liverpool, right, of tournaments. Yeah. So, and having Liverpool in a final must be a bit of a dream for him, right? Must be.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, the players are going to be so up for this Thursday night.
Oh, big time, Gary, big time.
They're going to be so up. I'm really been thinking about this for weeks now. And the only disappointing thing for me...
Sorry, Gary, just to interject, there is one good thing, and that is that we've had an extra day's rest compared to what we normally get. There's 5 days.
Yeah,
that's right.
So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. So it's better.
Ariola's not the cup keeper anyway. It'll be Fabianski in the cup. He plays Fabianski in the cup, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Do you know about? I'm going to say to you about Bowen. Have you heard any more about Bowen? I know it's they were going to look at it today.
You won't hear anything
today.
It'll just be.
I saw something today. They said it's still sore today. They need to, but Moyes expects him to play on Thursday.
He's been scanned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the biggest thing for me, the biggest disappointment from 2 weeks ago when that second leg in Freiburg, when we were at home, we were 3-0 up, and I was screaming for him to get Alvarez off, and he got that needless fucking booking. Yeah. There's no need to make that tackle, and that could be the big difference because if you had him out there, it would really shield the defence, wouldn't it?
Don't
you start pulling a Moyes, Gary, and blaming Alvarez.
I'll tell you what. Here's a question, right? Here's a question. Let's ponder on Jared Bowen. let's say Jared Bowen, he's not completely fucked, so we can get him ready so he can play, but he's definitely got a niggle. He's definitely got a niggle there, more than a niggle, but he can play on pain-killing injections. We've done this before with plenty of players. He's got the he's looking for the international tournament in the summer as well.
Yeah.
Would you do it if you could patch him up and inject him and get rid of that pain? Would you run him into the ground? I mean, as a manager, I suppose you're probably going to have to, aren't you? And think, well, look, we pay your wages. If we
pay the wages.
If you go pop,
I'm not one about England.
Yeah, but what about Bowen though? What about Bowen?
Yeah,
What will Bowen be thinking?
I don't know, but I mean, I'm sure he'll want to play. He's a tough little sod as well. You know, he's tough. Also, one other thing: if Bowen is available on Thursday, right? How are you going to do this? Because me and you, Nick, will have a chat about tactics. If you've got Bowen on the right and Tony through the middle, you've got Kudus on the left or Paqueta on the left. I was thinking about this the other night. You know, I know you don't like Paqueta out on the left, but I was thinking if you took the two of them, the overall strength of the team, would Kudus be better in the 10 and put Paqueta on the left? Because he can still drift in, can't he?
No, I think.
Or would you put their wings back? Would you put Kudus out there?
Listen, you know what I would do with them. So I've already said it. I'd play those three in the middle. Well, not Alvarez, but Paqueta and Kudus would be in the middle. But for me,
about this game,
I don't particularly think it's necessarily a bad thing for Mohamed Kudus to play if Bowen is injured, because I do think that Kudus is better on the right hand side if you're going to play him on the wing.
He is, or in the middle.
I think he's far better on the right hand side, so I don't think that's terrible. I think we've got cover in Bowen with Mohamed Kudus. So it's
I'm getting at, Nick, is because of their wing backs push so high, they're going to leave spaces behind. And if you have got Kudus, much as I want to see Kudus on the right or in the middle, with Kudus on the left and Bowen on the right, we've got genuine pace there. We could really worry them.
Gary, what I would say is, I would implore you, go and watch a few Bayer Leverkusen highlights, maybe from their last 5 games. The way they play is not conventional. They will leave gaps. They will concede. But I'm telling you, the way that they play, there's no fun. Alonso switches things mid-game. He's literally ruthless. So what he's done is he changes tactically instantly. He looks at things that ain't right.
This is a big problem.
He'll correct it. Bang, correct it. All of a sudden, a fucking fullback that was overlapping is now underlapping. Somebody else is coming out down left, and everyone's standing there going, "What the fuck's happening there?" And sometimes I think that might even be a predetermined thing. Like I think what was it they said? He sets traps. So he lures you into a false sense of security. He'll start one way and you think you've settled in. All of a sudden, he'll change and he'll have fucking players darting all over the place, running in different directions.
I think
it's really complex. Really
I think
complex
in IT terms, right, I think Moyes on Thursday, if he starts doing that, might have a divide overflow and actually crash. And
the windows will start.
You'll have a blue screen.
He'll have a blue screen.
It could go the other way. It could go the other way, and actually our physical side of our and the pace of our team, the strength of our team, being a Premier League side, where we are, it might give them something to think about.
They'll bully us in central midfield. They've got Granit Xhaka and they've got who's the other 2 guys they've got in there. They've got really physical, aggressive. They've got really aggressive, physical bastards in there. Without Alvarez, we're going to get bullied in the middle. We are.
That's why we've got to get maybe Paqueta in there to sit in alongside.
Absolutely, he's got to be in there. Paqueta's got to be in there.
Yeah. Anyway, it's hope for the best Thursday night. It'd be so West Ham, though, wouldn't it? They're unbeaten all season. Wouldn't it be just so West Ham to be the first team to beat them?
Yeah. Oh no, it would be, and fuck me, I think you'd have to stay off Twitter for the next 6 months. Could you imagine how they'd go then? David Moyes is we've only had 10% and scored from a corner, but he's the best manager ever because he beat Alonso. That's honestly.
I had to unfollow someone I like the other night because he wrote as soon as that Will Prowse goal went in. He tweeted 10 more years, David Moyes, 10 more years. I thought, fuck.
Right, hang on a minute. Richard Dodds. Let's get all right, Gary. We're going to
Why are we misunderstanding Thursday?
Thanks very
much,
Gary.
Cheers,
Gary.
Question.
I'm gonna phone
Let's
Doddsy.
Let
me phone Doddsy. Doddsy, I'm
Go
going to
on,
phone you.
Doddsy, get on here. Get on here, Doddsy. You can bring your
you to tell me.
Come on.
What do I call him?
Doddsy.
Wurzel
Bummage. And can I just say, what a great comment from Ralph. Anyone watch come through today? I didn't. Thanks, Ralph.
Dodsy's hammering us in this chat.
Right, Doddsy.
Yes.
Right then, coming in. What are we misunderstanding?
Lay it out for us, Doddsy. Come on.
Mate, I'm telling you, Thursday, it's written in the stars, mate. It's written in the stars because of the poor season we've had with the way we've played.
I know.
It's written in the stars for David Moyes to turn it around and then say it's his masterclass.
Oh, no. Look, listen, it would be a masterclass if he went to Leverkusen and beat them. You couldn't. I would even have to hold my hands up and say that dog shit football worked on this occasion, and we beat a team that I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we're capable of beating them over two. I'll be honest with you.
Nick, it's coming.
Yeah,
mate,
but no. And that's
it's written in the stars.
But this is
mate.
what I'm saying to you. I don't believe. I think in a one-off game, if it was a one-off game, I would think that we were capable of beating Leverkusen. If it was a one-off game, if it was a final, over 2 games, I don't think we're capable of doing it. I don't, because I think it will get... Even if we go 1-0 up there, I think Alonso will do something. He'll turn it around in the second leg. Over 2 legs, he will correct it. But, and that's why I'm saying to you, if he does, if he shitty football manages to get us through and beat them, I'll have to swallow it and accept it and say, look, it works. Well done.
It is still sport. Anything can happen. And Dodgy, I'm not like Nick. When it comes to cup football, it is literally about getting through to the next round, right? I don't care how we do it. I don't care if we're boring. The thing is, it doesn't matter, Mickey. Get through to the next round. That's all that matters. In the league, different, right? But cup, that's all that matters.
But everyone in the chat, just so that you know, not all of you will know Dodsey is. Dodsey, Dodsey has to travel away when he goes to home games. Right, it's a fucking day out. He lives down in Taunton, don't you, Dod? He lived down there. He lived down there, and he goes to get himself pathy in the morning. And he's got a fucking 5-hour, but he's literally got a ridiculous drive to every game. So, and he doesn't miss any game. He goes fucking home,
every single game, including pre-season.
Pre-season, he travels. He's fucking nuts, basically. I'm going to say it to you.
Bigger than tree.
No, you're right now. I'm fucking nuts.
You're fucking nuts. He travels everywhere. So, do you know what? For you, Dodsey, I'm going to accept it because you're I'm no doubt. I don't even know if you are, but I know you're going out there. You're going out there to Leverkusen, aren't you?
Of course he is.
Yeah, you're going out. You're going out.
He's got 150 points.
Yeah, but do you know what? For you, I'm going to change my prediction. We're going to win 2-0. There you go, Dodsey. I am just saying it because I love you, boys. You know how much I love you. Go on.
And it is that bit about, normally it's 6 games and he gets his contract, There's just something about Leverkusen where we shouldn't win. There's no reason
I know.
Win. After the Wolves game, we shouldn't win. We didn't deserve to win at Wolves. That was a goal. I don't care what anyone says. But
football's still a sport,
and he will tell us, oh yeah, that was my plan.
They're trying to turn football into not a sport, into an anti-sport, but it's still a sport at the moment. It is blokes playing a sport, right?
Dodgy, somebody has asked, can you drive it? Can you actually drive a tractor? We never established that.
He must be able to.
Yeah, mate, I've driven a forklift and I can drive a tractor. That is and I've looked at a combine harvester, but I've never driven it.
Where are you standing on Where are you standing on Moyes now? Because you went officially out. Are you back in to the inside?
I'm still Moyes needs to go at the end of the season. Yeah. Thank you so much for everything you've given me. Unbelievable. He has absolutely given me.
Well, you've had a wonderful time, haven't you?
Of my life.
With the traveling,
best times. But boys, and you know this. Does he get on my fucking tits? Oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember what was the away game? What was the away game where you finally flipped? What was it?
It was Forest.
That's it, Forest.
He really lost his shit in that one, didn't he?
You sent the video, didn't you? On the back of the van or the back of the Mover.
Also, before you take the piss out of Dodgy, you got to know him to take the piss out of him. He's 8 foot fucking tall. He's like a tree. He's massive, by the way. He's huge.
Honestly, nearly as tall as me, people. He's fucking mental.
He's massive.
That was the funniest moment of the season for me when I turned up at Fulham with Ross, and I was standing. This is how bad my eyes are. I was texting Dodgy to find out where he was, and he's right in front of me. Right in front of me.
Couldn't see the pitch, could you?
That was brilliant. That was fun that day, wasn't it? I know we got battered, but it was fun, wasn't it?
But you know what? When you go, look, listen, it is true, and I know. Look, but when you go to the away days and everything else, listen, the football is a small part of it. It is. Yeah. The football is a small part of it. It's like you, Doddsy. I mean, fuck me, that is literally a proper day out. You go with all your mates. You know, you meet up with friends when you're in there as well. It's a big part of your life, isn't it? And it isn't really. The football is a small part of it, and that's probably, I think that's how it always used to be for me at West Ham, because it weren't about the 3 o'clock kickoff. It was your match day rituals. It was going to the 3 o'clock kickoff. The game kicks off at 3. You'd be in a pub at 11. Then you're back to the pub afterwards, and that was what football was. It was all about that. But now for a lot of us, like for me, it is just about the football, and that's what is so depressing for me, Doddsy.
Mate, it's a great day out, ruined by 90 minutes of football, and then every so often just bung it in there, don't they? And you have a great game. I mean, you don't walk out of that Wolves game and not go, wow, great, that was fantastic. I enjoyed it because we stole a win. You walk out with it because of the result. Goals, Nigel Khan, you know this. Nigel Khan, goals are fun. Yeah. Goals are fun. And that's what changes it. Burnley, we were absolutely awful away. Awful. Yeah. But we walked out and we won it. And you live for that sometimes. And it's weird, isn't it? Because we're screwed, mate. We're absolutely knackered, a lot of us, the West Ham fans, aren't we? Those are things. Mate, I was with about 20 or 30 of them, and when they overturned that VAR, there was 30, 40 people who I knew but I didn't know, and it went mental, and that's what you live for, mate. And that's
it is those moments. It is those moments,
David Moyes has given me that for 3 or 4 years, bang, bang, bang. But is he a twat? Of course he is. Of course he is. He winds you up. And I wish he would go. I'd put a statue there for him quite happily.
But wouldn't it be nice, Doddsy?
I'd agree to a statue if he went. I would.
No, I don't want a statue. No,
put it around the back near the car park.
I'll take my dog there every game to piss up it.
But statue, you don't want
I'd vandalise it.
But have a vote, though. Have a vote to people in the chat. Would you accept him leaving in exchange for a statue?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'd take it every day of the week. I would.
No, I don't want a statue.
And a promise for him to never darken our door again. I'd take it.
No, because at least at some point he goes, but the statue fucking stays forever.
So like the only statues we've got related to West Ham.
You got the statue, Nick. So you got well cut. You got next to the bell, and then you've got a bell end.
Exactly. Oh, there you go, bell end. Well, what I was going to say to you, Doddsy, was imagine, right? So you go through all what you go through, where you go your match day travels and your rituals, and you love it, and you go home and away. You love the day anyway, whatever happens. But wouldn't it be lovely if we did have a manager that made the most of these players that we've got, that kind of took us to a bit of another level, even if it weren't necessarily in league position, just so that we was going to these games and we was fucking.
No, that one there.
What's that?
Go on, Gal.
Where's it gone? Only if the statue is the same size as Micky. That's a bit harsh, isn't it, Micky?
That's brilliant.
Can we cancel J Baby?
But I was saying, Doddsy, wouldn't it be nice for everyone concerned, though? Because you know yourself, we've got some fantastic players, haven't we? This season particularly. And honestly, mate, I do genuinely feel that this season there was an opportunity there for a team. Right now, obviously the top three's gone, but if you look at Villa, you look at Tottenham, you look at Man United in 4th, 5th, and 6th spot, all of them ain't great, right? So there was an opportunity there for somebody to come in and nick those fucking spots. If we had a manager of the ilk of Unai Emery, that would have been us up there challenging with Emery this year. It would have been.
Cool. Yeah, of course it would, mate. You're sounding like John Lennon. Imagine all the people. Imagine if we played the youth. Imagine if we played the bloody best players in their positions. Imagine this. Imagine if we dropped Suchek. Imagine if Flynn Downs came back. Imagine this. It is, mate. It's absolutely, you're right.
But I'm saying it sounds like a song you should write and sing, Doddsy. I think that'd be brilliant.
Imagine all the tractors.
Yeah, go on.
He's got a call.
Here's hard to do.
Yeah. Oh dear. Right. Well. Anyway, can we get?
Thanks, boys.
John has asked if we can do subtitles for Doddsy. John's in the chat.
I miss John. I love John. So
yeah, we all miss John. We all miss John. Is what it is. Right.
He's a great bloke. There we go, boys. I'll let you go anyway.
All right,
Thanks for ringing me.
No
Cheers,
worries.
Doddsy. Have a good trip. Have a good trip. See you later.
Mate.
I will do. I'll send you the post. Cheers, boys. Bye.
Cheers, mate. He must spend a fucking fortune, does he? He honestly
He's loaded, isn't he?
He's loaded. He's Keiko. He's
Caked
Keiko.
up.
Well, he invented the pasty.
He did invent the pasty.
He
so
invented the pasty.
Yeah,
That's where he got his money from.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you want to argue that he didn't,
he patented it. He patented the pasty. Yeah.
If you want to argue that he didn't invent the pasty, go and tell him that yourself, because he's a big old burger. That is.
Yeah.
He's a big old boy. He's a great bloke, though. He's a great bloke.
He's fantastic. He's such a lovely, lovely bloke.
Right. If anyone else does want to phone in, I'm not going to put the number up now because we're going to get bombarded. It is getting late, so we'll give you another 10 minutes. If anyone wants to phone in, please do.
2.5 hours. That's good.
If not, right. Any questions in the chat before we
All
close
right,
up?
hold on. There is one there. I don't know what you're saying. I'm on the members site. Why can't I see this link on the members site, gents? It'll be on after, will it?
No. So if you're on the members site,
come on, Nick, explain it. Come on, Nick.
So if you're a YouTube member, then when you go into the community section, you'll see a link for the actual members site that we've got now. And it's different. It's explained in the members page once you're on there. All right. Oh, hang on. Here we go.
It's not the same as it's not part of YouTube, right? It's a completely different platform.
It's completely different. It's completely different. So, and it's fantastic. So please get over and join us.
Herpy, the pasty was not invented by. You're talking about the original pasty. Hello? I'm talking about the modern pasty.
Hello, Darren.
You all right?
How we doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you lot?
Yeah, no, we're all good. We're all good. We're all good. Yeah, I'm all
living the dream.
I'm all cleansed now. I'm free of that game.
Yeah.
But how can
what did?
Go on, mate.
Yeah, go on. You were going to say? Go on.
I can't remember now. I'm fried.
Yeah. So, what do you think the score's going to be against Leverkusen then?
Well, I've done mine. Well, I've just reneged my score. I'm being honest, mate. I think we're going to get bum hurt quite badly.
I think we're going to get sort of smashed myself, to be honest.
Yeah, that's how.
Because not only that, we ain't got Ariolo in goal either, have we?
No, it's how. No Alvarez. I mean, put it this way: if this is a perfect opportunity for Alonso to kill the tie, it is.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they're going to go out and intend to do. Whether they achieve it or not, then we don't know. But
no.
I mean, I'll tell you what. If we can nick a goal, though, that's the thing. I mean, we're quite good at we concede a lot, but we score as well because of the players that we've got. So I think he's just got a bit.
Need to stop being sloppy in defence.
Do you know what? I don't think you can defend against these fuckers. I think you just got to go out and maybe play a little bit differently. I said it earlier on. Have a go at them, surprise them. I don't think they'll be
attacking.
They won't be expecting David Moyes to go out to Leverkusen and play on the front foot. They won't expect that.
They will be most surprised if that happens.
Most surprised.
I think they would be.
Yeah.
And
the thing is,
go on, mate.
I'll be playing. If I was Moyes, I'd put Johnson in instead of Soufal as well.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, definitely.
It's got to be, innit?
Yeah. Soufal, he's on a run of bad form. Let's face it.
Almost gone, Scott.
It reminds. It's reminiscent of when we had Masuaku. The other teams would target him until he finally got dropped, and that's what it is with Soufal now. He's being targeted. 3 games running, he's been targeted. Right? It ain't good. Pace worries him. He backs off of pace. He retreats.
Yeah,
and he invites him into the box. You know.
Yeah. Very weak in defence at the minute.
Yeah, very much so.
It is, mate. But so do you think we've got no chance then against Leverkusen? Do you not give us any chance against them?
If we do the old defensive crap what we've been doing, low block, we're going to get smashed. We tried that against them in that friendly, and we got hammered. They played us completely, and that was just a friendly. Imagine if that was like a cup match.
Yeah.
No, not.
So how would you?
We had a weak team though. Then, I said earlier, we had Mabama up front, we had Downs and Souček in the middle. This was before the players arrived, and it was really early pre-season as well, wasn't it? Or was it late? I don't know.
Bag puss. Fuck off, Neil. You slag. Right. You slag.
You wet cunt.
Brilliant. I'm going to find some use for that. That and Space Invaders.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Darren. Right, let's do this a little bit differently. I'm going to put it on you. We all moan about David Moyes. You know the players that we've got. How would you approach Leverkusen? What do you think you would do with this team, how would you approach it in Leverkusen to try and get a result? What would you do? What do you think?
Attacking football.
Attacking football.
Completely.
So who
no
would you
sitting
play?
back, just full out attack.
So what players?
I'd even play Cornet. I'd have Cornet on as well.
Absolutely.
Do you know?
I'd give him one out.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna happen.
No, it won't happen.
Because
Won't happen.
if Bowen's injured, if Bowen's not fully fit, I'll put Cornet on in his place.
You know what? I would. I know Moyes is this sort of person who thinks, practice makes perfect. Fucking regimented. Do that. Don't change the pieces. Just get the pieces working to their optimum sort of thing, right? That's what he does. Rigid, disciplined system. But what would really benefit us here, I think, is if he'd done something unexpected.
Do you know what I'd do up front?
What?
I'd have Antonio and Ings up front.
Oh, well, fucking hell.
I don't know that I would. I don't know that I would do that. No, mate. No.
Black country.
I don't know that I would do that because I don't think we can afford to go too light against this lot in midfield. So I think we've got a fresh and fit Antonio. That'll be good. But I think what we need to do is maybe get Kudus and Paqueta concentrating a little bit more on hurting the opposition as opposed to defending. Just because I think if you've got those three, I think that's enough. I think Antonio, Kudus and Paqueta is enough.
Yeah, we need them to be more attacking compared to the last few games where they've just been sitting back.
What's this? We've
got
the real.
Really don't look happy at the minute.
Yeah, look, we've got the real West Ham ex-employee.
Paqueta against Fulham, he was quite quiet. He weren't happy at all.
Well, he was out wide left. He was pissed off. He was throwing his arms up in the air. He was moaning.
That's where Kudus should be.
It was annoying, mate. It was very annoying.
Yeah.
So anyway, Darren.
I'll drop Souček, but we can't against them because we ain't got Alvarez, have we?
No, Souček's got to be the one that sits in front of the back four. He's got to play.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be any surprises Thursday with team selection. Yet again,
it's going to be a midfield.
I think it's going to be the same shit.
Prowse and Souček.
Yeah.
I think he's going to keep the same squad that we've got.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to change anything, to be honest.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh God, I hope not.
The problem is, I think it's going to be just a low block shit.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 5 back to back. No, in our luck.
It ain't going to be anything else other than that, right? We're going to play with, and if we've got attackers,
it's going to play them too. Scott.
They'll all be in defensive roles.
Well, Scott, we're going to play. Scott, I'm telling you now. Do you want me to tell you how we're going to play?
Go on.
This is my prediction.
Yeah, go on.
This is how he's going to play. Soufal's going to be back. He's going to play at right back. He's going to play. He's going to play the same shape. He's going to play Emerson. He's going to play Emerson at left back. We're going to be playing with Calvin Phillips in Alvarez's role.
No.
I'm
telling
you.
And they're going to use he's weak as fuck.
We're going to play. We're going to have a midfield three of Phillips, Ward-Prowse, and Souček.
No.
I'm telling you, that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to do.
Well, it would be a surprise.
I reckon that's going to happen.
I
reckon that's going to happen.
Would that be a surprise, Gary? Why would that be a surprise?
Because Phillips,
you never know, Gary.
Phillips can't be allowed anywhere near the first team. He's not fit. Right?
That's what he's going to do.
Fit, and he ain't training either. Yeah,
that's what he'll do. Go on, Darren. Sorry, mate.
You never know. Phillips might actually play well for a change.
He won't. He ain't fit.
This is what he'll be hoping for.
Listen, calling in, Darren.
But this is what he'll be hoping for, because if you imagine, it's a perfect game. We said this for the other games, didn't we? It was Phillips's perfect chance, but this is a perfect chance for Phillips to come in, play brilliantly, and everyone would forgive him. Then at that point, you would. They'd forgive him, and that's what David Moyes will be thinking as well, or will he? I don't know. I don't know what David Moyes is thinking. I don't know.
Moyes done the wrong thing throwing him in the deep end when he first signed him. He put him straight in the squad.
He should have.
He should have identified.
He should have identified he weren't ready.
He should have signed a fit player instead, maybe, or not let Fornals go.
Yeah. Like he fucked up, mate, because he didn't do his due diligence. I can't say the word.
Due diligence.
Due diligence. Due diligence.
Due diligence. He didn't do
everything Micky says has got D's and G's in it. B's and D's.
We should have kept Fornals and Ben Rama.
Yeah.
I'm transferring to a different channel.
Make sure you do your due diligence.
I still can't say it.
Brilliant.
What's happened to John lately as well?
What's that to John? John's in the chat.
John's in the chat. He's around. He will be back on at some point. He's just got he's working a lot at the moment. That's all.
Yeah.
It's a bit like West Ham. They turn up when they feel like it.
I know.
Yeah.
He'll be back on at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The door is always open.
I was doing so well. I don't even know what my point was now. It could fuck itself.
Before the due diligence. You got me fucking... I can't say
due diligence.
You know what I was saying? Do instead of due diligence. Fuck it, I'm just leaving it alone.
I won't put this up there, Mickey,
Darren.
But look. Sorry, let's take that out.
We're gonna wrap this one up, mate. Thank you very much for the call.
All right, take care, you lot. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Darren.
One quick thing before I go.
Go on.
One quick thing before I go. What do you think the score is going to be, each of you?
I said 4-0. I said 4-0 Leverkusen.
2-0. 2-0 to Leverkusen. 2-1. No, 2-0. 2-0.
4-0, 2-0, 3-0. What do you reckon? What's yours?
Yeah, I reckon about 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think.
I just don't think they trounce teams, Darren. I don't think they trounce them.
I don't know. I think they probably will with us because it's 2-legged. They're going to just smash us.
Yeah.
There's no coming back.
Well, we'll see. I mean, the one thing I say is, like I described earlier, they don't play their best team very often. He's been using his squad.
Yeah.
And last time they played it, they won 4-0, but it was only against Fortuna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed we can, surprise a lot of people, innit? Fingers crossed.
Well, look. That's it. We could do. No one's expecting it. That's probably not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if we were all expecting anything in that game, then I think there's a good chance we'd be disappointed. But we could be.
Yeah.
Listen, if we come away from that with a 0-0 draw, I'll be fucking buzzing.
Right, now you said that, let me ask you something, because there's a couple of people who said it in the chat earlier on, and Louis was one of them, right? And he said it would be one of the worst things, I think he said worst, but it'd be a bad thing if we come away with a 1-0 win.
Not in this one. Not in this
I
one.
don't agree with it. I will take a win all day long. It doesn't matter.
Listen, against Freiburg or a team like that,
I've seen what he's thinking, though.
I know what he's
thinking.
But
I
know what he's thinking.
Take a win all day long. I don't want.
But anything.
And if Moyes did get that,
go on, mate.
If Moyes did get that statue, it'd be good as Scarecrow, wouldn't it?
It would be. It would be. You'd have someone else next to Doddsy. He ain't getting no fucking statue, mate. Honestly, no way.
Sullivan.
If he gets a statue, I won't be happy.
It was fucking ridiculous.
But anyway, Darren, thank you very much, mate.
Yep. Take care, you lot.
Cheers,
Have
mate.
a good night.
See you later.
See you later.
See you later. Bye.
Nick, I've got to
the phone lines are closed.
Nick,
I think that's the second week on the trot that's got to send Amanda to bed early.
What's that?
Say good night to her. She's got to say good night to Amanda every week.
I've completely lost my thread. It's all right.
What's the matter?
No. I've lost my thread. I was going to say something, but I can't remember what it was.
Something profound or
something profound, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Micky. Anything? Do diligence.
I think the teeth started slipping out. And I was talking. That's
why. Look. This next 4 games is going to make or break our season. We got the right result yesterday, albeit it was a difficult way to get there. Now we've got the real test, right? Leverkusen, that is going to be physically so tough. 3 days later, we've got Fulham. Now, Fulham are going to turn up nice and fresh after a week off and play against us, who will be on our arse after travelling back from Leverkusen. Then 4 days later, we've got Leverkusen again. And then 3 days later, we've got Palace. So I reckon if we were to beat them, we'd probably beat Palace as well, right?
Yeah.
But the one in the middle, Fulham, I think we're going to blow that, and it's going to end up being a draw, even though I'll go down as a prediction as a win. Now, Palace, if we lose to Leverkusen, we're going to be on a downer. We'll probably go there and lose. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's what happened after our form hit. You just fucking went. When we lost to Frankfurt,
I'm struggling to predict anything because the way that we're playing, I'll just find it a miracle. I'll find it a miracle that we're winning anything. But we are. By the way, winning games.
One of the premium features on the new platform is you get to hear me singing when I'm drunk.
Yeah, it's
wonderful.
It's
magnificent.
And you get daily sing songs from Micky as well when he's out doing his post rounds. Yeah. And you do get
and Sam Oakes also sings. And let me tell you, Sam Oakes' voice is fucking unreal.
He's unbelievable.
He can sing.
He can. And I started doing. What's the other thing that I did on there? I started doing I done a Moyes review as well, didn't I?
Follow
little Moyes
reaction,
rant.
A post.
It was a press conference. Press conference reaction.
Yeah, because it's not YouTube. Because it's not YouTube, right? You know, we opened that second channel, right? That was to put stuff that we were afraid were going to get us a copyright strike on here.
Yeah.
Because that ain't YouTube, we can basically put on that platform what we want.
Yeah.
So Nick did a fucking hilarious review of the David Moyes,
because I can't swear on this fucking channel, so I can really swear on that one.
Which it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And what we've been doing as well, it's got like the Zoom call functionality, right? And so on Friday night last week, and we're going to do it, make it a regular thing, is we just do a little ad hoc hour on a Friday night
group call where everyone can just jump on screen with us and have a chat.
It's like this, but if you want to come on, you can just come on, right? And it's worked really well. We've had a couple of people each time, haven't we? We had a load the first time we tried it, didn't we?
Yeah, that's it. He's very good. But
let me just say to you though that Nick's press conference reaction, he watches it. It's the first time he watches it as well. So it's not like he's watched it already and then thought, what did I say? Particularly his reaction. And
it was Darren. It was Darren said, watch it. And I was like, oh, fuck me. I watched the first 10 seconds. I was like, mate, I can't watch any more of it. So
and we've got a section for his help and support. So anyone having a meltdown, we do not want to see that. But as I said, there is one exception, and that's Nick. We always want to see a Nick meltdown. And it's worth the sign up just to fucking
and that is a thing. That's what I wanted to say the other day as well. Because obviously you people, so many people have been supporting us on this channel for ages now, since we've done the membership platform, and you don't get anything for your money. You're just supporting the channel, which is wonderful for us. But you know that we was doing a support platform, we outgrew it, so we had to find another one based on the fact that we've had people supporting us with recurring revenue. We could afford to go out and procure a new platform, which basically maintains free support for people. That's what it does. Yeah. So what you do when you are supporting people as well, you're helping pay into that side of it as well. So you're not just sort of chipping into us, you're chipping into them as well, which is absolutely brilliant. I think we're all doing it as a community.
Yeah, what I liked about that Friday one as well, because we did like it because it's like not recorded and it ain't gone out anywhere. It was and it's private. We could just say.
Well, you got really carried away, didn't you? You did.
I did get carried away. I said a lot of stuff that was from the inner sanctum of my mind.
Night, Dave.
But no, very good. Anyway, look, we're going to wrap it up because I'm fucked and I've got to go to bed. Micky, Gary, it's been emotional.
It has. It's been truly wonderful.
What do you want to go out to?
I don't know. What do you reckon? It's got to be upbeat and optimistic, right?
B52.
Yeah,
oh, I thought you meant
B52s.
Love Shack.
Love Shack. Right, see you later on anyway, people. Thanks for watching.
Come on, you irons.
When you score, you make the West Ham sings. Jota on the wings, Jota on the wings. Every time you're on the ball, we know it's gonna be a goal. A superstar from Portugal. When you score, you make the West Ham sings. Jota on the wing, Jota on the wing. Every time you're on the ball, we know it's gonna be a goal. A superstar from Portugal. Da 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 la 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 la. Da 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 dum. La da 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 dum. La da da da.
This song is available for download on Spotify and iTunes. No, it's not really. Welcome to the Sunday Night TalkHammers show here on Claret and Booze. Come on, you ads.